Hello? Testing? Hello? Testing? Testing? Hello? Testing audio? Testing? Testing? Hello? Testing audio? Testing? Cool. Okay, awesome. So we're all set to go. Yeah, let's get started. Hello, everyone. What's the game we're playing? Dark Souls Remastered. That's right. Okay, yep, looks good. Excellent. Awesome. Well, okay, so I think it's Tomb of the Giants today to start. Oh, there we go. We're gonna start with Tomb of the Giants, and then from there we're gonna go to. Sorry about that, yeah. I forget sometimes it breaks. Sometimes the audio interface disconnects. So, sorry about that. Okay, well. So, let's see. Guess we do this. Hello. Saw a little react or something. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway. So yeah, pretty typical stuff here on the way to, watch. Yeah, parry that, pal. Look at that. So he can't parry my thrust attack. I think we can run past these actually, but it's fine. I'm pretty consistent at them, so it's like not really too much effort. Nito, I kind of want to try some new tech out against Nito, because I'm kind of reduced to using I guess I could go to, nah, forget it. Well, we'll do the Duke's Archives, but the thing about Duke's Archives and why it's, why I want to do it is for the Crystal Ember. And then let me check something. Hold up. I need to see if I have a falchion and a great scythe. Excuse me, Mr. Bone Man. Do I have a falchion and a great scythe? Yeah, I got a second falchion. And I have a second great scythe. Yeah, okay. So I'll get a third one while I'm here. And then, oh? Oh, yeah. Look at that. It just doesn't get any easier than that, does it? I don't even know if these are gonna get, like, there's a possibility that in New Game Plus at some point they'll take 3 attacks to kill, but so far that hasn't happened yet. Which I'm pretty chuffed, I'm pretty pleased about that, honestly. Very convenient for me. Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Skeleton. Then we kill the guy. The Puppet Master. Sweet. Okay, grab the thing. Then we hit the bonfire. It's gonna be a lot more of the same here. This area is pretty standard issue. There's not that much to say here. Other than it's like, obviously this is the area that everyone has trouble with. It's like one of the hardest areas in the game. But in reality, if you have a divine weapon of any kind, yes, we are. We sure are. Let me tell you. Back is the word that I would use to describe what we are. Absolutely. Look at this. And we get to cheese him with the bow and arrow too. He doesn't even do anything. Look at that. Look at that. So you don't even need a divine You don't even need a divine weapon in a lot of cases because if you have a bow and arrow. But it helps against Nito. The reason why you want a divine weapon is mostly for Nito. It's only kind of helpful in this first segment here. But as you get down to Nito, it's going to become like essential because it just means you can kill the skeletons in the beginning of the Nito fight. Oh, it's Uchi. Iaito's also fine. The thing about Iaito is it does a little tiny bit less damage. And I'm actually not that crazy about the R2. I think the R2 for the Iaito is better than the Uchikatana R2. But it's not better enough that you need it. It's not essential. And especially against enemies like skeletons, it's not that good. Like, even Great Scythe isn't... Because, you know, like, the rolling attack and stuff, like, you're never going to time that right. You probably could. Their movesets just don't work with the charge. In my opinion. Like, it's not the end of the world. They're not impossible to hit with the Iaito charge, but it's not, like, something that you could rely on doing, I think. And you get a little tiny bit more damage. Black Steel Katana, it's not, yeah, that's I think that's a better one. I actually haven't used the Black Steel Katana much. I know, Uchikatana is fine in that game. The thing about Black Steel Katana is that stat requirements are kind of high. But Black Steel Katana is really good, actually, in that game. Or, I mean, Uchikatana is also really good in that game, too. Like, I think Uchikatana is like, almost viable as a weapon. Like, it's not, as far as, like, meta, it's not meta. But it's, like, it's almost kind of decent. As far as weapons go. Like, I think it's actually one of the better weapons in the whole game. The Uchikatana. Which is saying something. Because... that's a game that's, like, dominated by, like, some of the best weapons. Yeah, but, like, the damage is still fine. The thing is, the damage is fine. I mean, it's not, like, amazing, but it's fine. It's definitely better than, like, a lot of, like, clubs and stuff. And a lot of, like, hammers. I think it's better than hammers. You get to bleed, too. Which, like, more enemies, which is, like, a lot weaker in DS2, but also more enemies are vulnerable to it. So it actually kind of rules. And you got the thrust attack, too. So you can, like, poke enemies. And I think the thrust attack is actually really good. I think it's not as good in these games. I think it's a lot better in the standing R2. For poking, like, enemies far away. Especially in a game where there's, like, lots of areas where there's tons of enemies, right? So I think it's like an extra decent kind of thing in that particular game because of the way that game is. But like, yeah, it's not actually really meta. Oh yeah, because they'll follow you around, won't they? Or which game, the Drake Sword? Which game, Drake Sword, are you talking about? Because in DS1, it's actually good enough for New Game. If you want to just like stack defenses, you 100% can do Drake Sword. It's totally fine. That's actually like a really underrated weapon. It's not good, but it's also just fine. Yeah, that's actually a great sword. That's actually a really great weapon. I actually really liked it. I think it's very underrated. It's going to be a little slow to kill enemies, but you can also use like Avalon or something for some bosses. Or for specifically Calamite. Like, that's okay in New Game. Yeah, New Game, it's fine. It's not the best weapon in the game, in New Game, but it's definitely fine for New Game. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on. Oh, that's so bad. I got lost there. I think I took a wrong turn. Or I forgot to hit the bonfire. Or something. I don't know what went wrong there. I don't know because I'm in the Vamos area for some reason. Well, gotta fight our way back to it. Yeah, I love that weapon. That's actually a really great weapon. The biggest problem with that weapon is actually upgrading it. Because getting enough dragon scales is actually pretty tough. There actually aren't that many in the game. And you have to go to like Ash Lake to get a bunch, or to get a few of them or something like that. So it's one of those things where it's almost not even like That's really the biggest problem with it. And in a lot of ways, you could use like a lightning halberd and it's fine. It's not as good. A lightning halberd is not as good, but it's like similar, you know? Like you use like a lightning halberd or like a chaos claymore. Like you use like a lightning or chaos halberd or claymore and that's also fine. Or even a straight sword and that's okay. Hello. Yeah, well, I mean, they're not worth farming. Well, it's fine. I think the drop chance is not that high, though. Because they don't want you to just get the Covenant. They don't want you to get Stone Dragon Covenant or whatever. Super easy. Because Dragon Scales are also the Covenant item for Stone Dragon. Or Eternal Dragon or Dragon, whatever it's called. The Dumb Dragon Covenant. So like they don't want them to be that easy to get, and so they're like a kind of a pain to farm. And those are like relatively tanky enemies. Yeah, it's like so crazy. It's like that's so many dragons. Well, it's really not that many in the grand scheme of things. Because the game gives you a good 4 or 5, right? Or it's more than, yeah. So I don't know. You probably wouldn't. You could probably, I don't know. But those are like really tanky enemies, and so that's the issue with that. And so that's like the main problem with dragon weapons in this game, honestly. If there's an issue with dragon weapons, it's that. It's the fact that come on. It's simply the fact that the game oh, can you get 10 really? I always count way less than that. So I guess you could do a new game plus 3, huh? Without farming at all. Is there really 10? Is there straight up really actually 10 in the game without farming? That's crazy. See, I didn't think there was that many. I actually did not think at all that there were that many, because I swear, because there's 200 dragons, 2 hydras, and then there's like 1 in a chest. I thought it was only 5. I actually thought it was only 5. There's only 5 in the game. But I guess I'm just wrong. I'll look it up, actually. It's kind of interesting. Oh, I'm what am I at? Plus 3? So we're about halfway done. Why is this in caps lock? I don't know. Maybe you need to get your keyboard checked out. Huh. Okay. So if there's 10, there's 10. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we're at plus 3, I think. So we're about halfway done. Because we only need to go to plus 6. But these last 3 are going to be obviously the hard ones. Hopefully I do a good job. Hopefully I contend with these foes most auspiciously or whatever. You know? Hopefully. With any luck. Oh shoot. What am I doing? Oh yeah. I need to go down here. Where is it? There it is. Thank you. I have to grab the Great Scythe really fast. Not that it's like strictly essential to have an extra one, but it might help. Where am I going? Yes, well, for Dark Souls 1, yes. It only goes to plus 6 for Dark Souls 1. For Dark Souls 2 and 3, it's plus 7. For Dark Souls 1, it's plus 6. And then they stop getting harder. So that's where I draw the line. I guess I could go to plus 7, but probably not. I think for Sekiro, I'm going to go to plus 8. For Sekiro goes to plus 7. Yeah, Sekiro goes to plus 7, and then for Sekiro, I'll go to plus 8. So I can kill the optional, or the other route bosses. For Sekiro. So in Sekiro, I'll do 8. I think I just ignore him, actually. No, I will just kill him. What am I thinking? Yeah, well, it's something you have to, like, it's hard to do. It's, like, really easy to get bored. Like, the first time I ever played this game, I got bored like crazy, but long before I ever got there. It was, like, a huge amount of work. It was, like, a huge amount of practice and, like, training to, like, get used to the game enough that I was willing to go past, you know. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on.
That's what it has to be.
Gotta try that again. Gotta try that again. Goof that up. What I need to do is I need to hit him with the two-hand. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's like my first playthrough of Dark Souls 1, I was like, I've played Dark Souls 1 many times. I've played these games many times. I've played many runs of these games. So it feels kind of natural for me. But like when I first played Dark Souls 1, I would never ever have gone past like +1. Definitely. And then I did the achievement and got all the way past plus for all the achievements you do need to go to shoot, why is this guy beating the crap out of me? This guy's absolutely crushing me. Yeah, that's the issue with it. But it's the reason why I do it is because it's technically the hardest. Right, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, not that much changes, but like some stuff, yeah. But the reason why I do it personally is because it's a little tiny bit harder, yeah, each time. And so technically it's the penultimate, like, challenge, I guess. You know? Like, it sort of isn't. Honestly, each subsequent cycle is in some ways kind of easier than the last one. But, you know, it's something different. Or, well, I guess it's literally not. There we go. There we go. That only took me forever. Frickin' patches. Yeah, so I think, and so I guess you can make the argument it's like a bit of an ego thing for me, but it's totally fine. It's just the penultimate challenge, you know, it tests the limits, you know? Especially when the bosses get harder, but your character doesn't really get that much stronger, you know? That's the thing, is it, you know, I'm going forward, but like I've basically, all of my offensive stats have been capped out since, or most of my offensive stats have been capped out since like the first or second cycle. You know, I had like the first thing I did was went to 40 faith, 50 faith, 40 dex, right? And that's like most of my offensive stats. I don't really have much else in terms of like, there's not really much else to go. So, you know, I can have more HP, I can have more, you know, endurance and stuff like that, but in a lot of ways the character doesn't really get that much stronger, and so the bosses get tankier. And so it's like, okay, like, I guess I have to dodge bosses better. You know, it's a more thorough test of my skills at this game. Something like that, I guess. You know? But definitely it's something that is not something that I would recommend to, like, your first time. Yeah, well, a lot of people complain about the open world to me for Elden Ring, and I tend to agree. I think, here's the thing about open world, and I've said this many times. I've said this about open worlds many times. Okay, the reason why open worlds are good, okay, if you're, like, I think a lot of people are impressed with the concept of open world, okay? You see, some people like open world, but the reason I like open world is because it's open-ended. Okay, so, like, your first playthrough of any open world game, you want to play on the, rails. You want to basically kind of do what the game tells you, more or less, with some exceptions, right? To a certain extent. Like, I guess for some games like Skyrim, that can actually be very difficult because the main quest gets like harder and stuff. But like for Elden Ring, you basically want to play the game on the rails, I think. And then what happens is, as you get better at the game, or once you beat the game one time, or as you get like as you get better at the game, you can then start to kind of like do fancy stuff and like sequence break and that kind of stuff. And that's the advantage to open world, right? So if you're playing Skyrim, there's like some wacky stuff you can do off the beaten path, but you have to know how to get to it, and you have to know what to do with it. You know what I mean? But if you're just playing Skyrim for the first time, you should probably just like do kind of what the game tells you, within reason. It depends. Skyrim is actually a bad example because in most cases you want to do like a faction questline first. In most cases. I wouldn't say all cases, but in many cases you want to do like a faction questline first. You want to do like, you want to become like the leader of the companions, or you want to do like, you know, the Mages Guild or something first, because there's like really serious advantages to doing that. There's like really serious rewards for doing that kind of stuff in Skyrim, right? So Skyrim is kind of a weird exception where you actually don't just want to do the main quest, you actually want very much to do things other than the main quest to start. Hey dude, what's up? How you doing, Runefeller? But like, that's like the exception that kind of proves the rule a little bit, where that's like the sort of, but the game doesn't really tell you that, so it's like weird. There we go. Okay. Which wall? Is there a wall before this boss? Where's the wall? Let's see here. Oh yeah, yes, there is a fog wall before the boss, because that way the bone wheels can't follow you. There has to be. If there's not a fog wall before this boss, the bone wheels could just follow you in or whatever. Yeah. Yep. Poor Pinwheel. Poor Pinwheel. He doesn't even get a chance to shine in New Game Plus, that's for sure. That's for darn sure. But it's okay, you know. Poor Pinwheel. Let's see if I can block this guy. Oh, I can. Broken. Never mind. How did I forget that? Oh, my phone went off. Why did my phone go off? This is +3. So we're like basically kind of halfway done. And we're kind of already halfway done with this cycle. The tricky part is going to be the DLC. That's going to be the hard part here. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'll just run past him. That's fine. Okay, and then I guess I can rescue her. Just for another copy of whatever it's called. Yeah, so I was trying Elden Ring and it doesn't seem that tricky. Yeah, well, I'm gonna get him better this time. Oh, I need to level up. What am I doing? I need to level up like a huge number of times. I'll put on the 1 second. Do that. We can level up really fast. It's more strength. So we want to hit the strength soft cap here. And then once we hit the strength soft cap, it kind of doesn't matter. That's like the max amount of damage we can gain from physical. In the Dark Souls trilogy, like Ava and Lunder, so DS2 is where the hardest bosses are, in my opinion. In my opinion, the hardest bosses are basically in DS2. I guess if you're not doing Covenant of Champions, it's a little bit easier. But I think like places like Frozen Outskirts really stink in New Game Plus. But with that being said, the DS3 has some really tough bosses too. There's a lot of really tough bosses in DS3. So in my particular experience, the hardest boss in the game is either Ludden Zalin in Frozen Outskirts in the Crown of the Ivory King in DS2, or it's what's her name again? It's Alana the Squalid Queen in the Dragon Sanctum in DS2. So those are I think the hardest bosses in the series. Other than that, Gale can be pretty tough in New Game Plus. But he's like easy otherwise. If you're doing New Game, he's relatively easy. Ow. The homeboy squad. Pulling up here. Oh. Nice true combo there, pal. And then so I go from game to game. The hardest boss in Demon Souls is Alant. It's definitely Alant. Every other boss is comparatively simple to Alant. And then Man-Eaters is basically the second hardest, I'd say. And then for Dark Souls 1, the hardest boss is probably it's obviously between Calamite and Manus. And it kind of depends. I've had issues with Calamite in the past, but I actually think Manus is harder. Because like Manus is more like there's less like tricks. There's less like setups and tricks for Manus. You just have to know him really well. He's kind of like a DS3 boss in that way. And then for Dark Souls 2, it's definitely Ludden Zalin or Alana. They're about the same in terms of difficulty, I'd argue. I think maybe a Ludden Zalin is a little tiny bit harder, and that's probably the hardest boss in the series. Especially in New Game Plus and especially in Covenant of Champions. If you're not in Covenant of Champions and you're not in New Game Plus, it's not so bad. That's a pretty reasonable boss if you're not doing like those specific things. But if you are doing those specific things, that's by far the hardest boss in the game. And then for DS3, it's, I mean, Meteor can be really tough too. Meteor's definitely not free. You do in fact have to actually dodge Meteor properly. But if you do, if you do, he's pretty simple. He's one of those bosses that's like really brutal for like new players. But yeah, it must be. It's almost certainly. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh shoot. And then, but for DS3, it's probably Gale. I would say it's probably Gale. The thing about Gale is he's actually really easy. And if you're doing things correctly, he's really easy in New Game. But as you go up in the cycles, he gets way tanky. He gets like really tanky. And then Demon Princes stink too. I hate Demon Princes. That's another really lame boss from Dark Souls 3. But honestly, if you're playing Dark Souls 3 more or less correctly, if you're doing like, if you're really committed to like doing DS3 correctly, it's not that hard. Yeah. Well, Meteor is actually not that tricky, but you do have to know him. You have to fight him correctly. You actually have to like you have to do it right. He's like, it's like weird because I could probably fight Meteor and kill him no problem right now. Like if I booted up Dark Souls 3 right now and fought Meteor, I could probably kill him without too much effort. It probably would not actually be that difficult for me. But also, you have to. It took me like a lot of practice to get there. It wasn't like something I just like automatically understood. It took me like a ridiculous amount of practice. Nameless King, yeah, Nameless King and Dark Lurker are pretty tough too. That's another set of bosses that are pretty strict. Nameless King and Dark Lurker. Dark Lurker, I actually have fun. Dark Lurker is actually really easy as long as you're doing magic. So as long as you have a character built that can do magic, Dark Lurker is actually pretty free. And in fact, if you have a hex-based character, even though he's resistant to dark, like Dark Orb like wrecks him. At least in New Game. In New Game Plus, it's not as good. But if you're struggling with Dark Lurker, like using magical attacks is gonna like really get you far. It's the physical characters where Dark Lurker really stinks to fight. And then Nameless King is also tough too. Oh shoot, come on! Did I really oh my gosh! Forgot to put down the Lord Vessel. Well, there you go. Where is it? We'll do that really fast. Yeah, or is he a lot harder in the original version too? Did they nerf him a bunch? Yes. Yeah, I forgot the stupid. What's up, dude? Most of the time it doesn't matter. I don't need more than 10 Estus most of the time. Is the thing. The reason why. That's all there is to it. I don't actually need 10. There's some places where I need more than 10 Estus, but most places I don't. Like, I'm either going to die or kill the boss way before I use 10 Estus. In most places. In some cases, like the DLC, maybe not. So, like, for example, one of the bonfires in the DLC I have at 20. And that's because I know I might need 20 Estus for those bosses. But for most enemies and bosses and stuff, it's not important to have 20 Estus. Yeah, I like them too. They're a huge pain in my rear, but they are a fun boss, for sure. It's not like I hate them or anything. It's not like I think they're like a bad boss that shouldn't have been in the game or something. They're perfectly fine bosses. They're very fun. But they've always been a thorn in my side. They've always been that boss that, like, gets me. You know what I mean? Where it's like I'm going along and it's like, oh, great, you know, I gotta fight Demon Princes again. And if you're not using Bleed, they're a lot harder. Bleed is what makes them really cartoonishly easy. If you're trying to use, like, elemental attacks, it's, like, really bad. If you're trying to buff with, like, Crystal Magic Weapon or some of these other ones, that's where the problems arise with Demon Princes. Yeah, it's okay. It's actually okay. And in fact, I have access to Dark Bead, too. So we're going to try Dark Bead out against Nito. Because it only has a 16 intelligence requirement, and there's a catalyst that scales with faith. So technically I can do Dark Bead, too. It's not as good as magic, but it's fine. Like, I have cool weapons. I have... You know, you could also go strength with it, too. You could also build, you could also have, like, a character that uses strength weapons, too, and that'd be fine. Or, which guy? Demon Prince? Or, which guy? Demon Prince? Demon Prince is a really cool boss, for sure. It's not my favorite. It's not my personal favorite in the series, but it's a really cool boss. Oh, Nito? Yeah. Well, Nito, you just hit him with Dark Bead and he dies instantly. You just break his... He just explodes. If you're using like a Tin Crystallization or Mana's Catalyst, you hit him with Dark Bead and he just instantly dies. Because he's a pre-DLC boss. Look at that. I just one-shot that Bone Tower with the R2, with the charging R2. Ain't that the truth? Oh, I need to have the... Oh, gosh. Well, Dark in this game is physical. That's what it really is that Dark in this game just counts as physical. They haven't even... There's not even the Dark element in this game. Technically. There's actually no Dark element in this game. That wasn't introduced until Dark Souls 2. It's purely physical damage. And I think it's even Strike or something, too. Yeah, well, all these enemies are weak to magic. That's the thing, is that literally all of these enemies are also weak to magic, right? So, and this does magic damage, and Dark Bead does half physical, half magic. So it's like, yes, all these things are like weak to Dark Bead, absolutely, 100%. But it's and that's part of what makes Dark Bead so broken. Even like and then it also, like, because it's half physical, it even breaks through what's his face? Ow. It even breaks through Seath, who's like resistant to magic. That's like the only boss in the game that's resistant to magic, other than like Dark Sun Gwendolyn, who also has like low HP. Yes, it's like, yeah, it's like you only need like 2 or 3 casts even on New Game Plus. That's the problem with Dark Bead. It's like way too strong. It makes everything else look bad by comparison. This character is actually pretty good. In the grand scheme of things, like, I'm hitting these bosses pretty hard. I'm not hitting these bosses like Dark Bead hard, but I'm hitting them pretty decently hard. It's not like I'm like a complete pushover here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing damage. It's just not enough to compete with Dark Bead. So we're gonna see what Dark Bead does here. I want to know. I want to know what Dark Bead can do for me here. Okay, so I guess it's not good. Yeah, okay, that's not very good, actually. Ow. So I think Dark Bead just isn't meta for this character. It's not bad. Oh. There you go, yeah. And then also you get more out of magic damage against him too. Whew. Yeah, Tin, it's fine. It's not good, but it's fine. It's not unusable. Like, I think Dark Beat is not unusable, but it's definitely not going to be good enough for DLC or anything like that. Definitely, not at all. It's not good enough for, like, DLC bosses. I'm not going to use it against Manus or anything. No way. Okay, now we go Attune Magic. We take off Dark Bead, we put on, I guess, Lightning Blade. Or, what is it? Where is it? It's not even as good as, like, Great Lightning Spear. Oh, wait, no. What am I doing? Sunlight Blade. Okay, now we go to... I guess we'll do Seath. We'll do Seath right now. That's what we'll do. We'll do Seath. Just so I can get the crystal weapon. It's not important yet. I don't know. Should I do a Lost Izalith, actually? Why am I slow rolling? Huh. I mean, yeah, we'll just do Lost Izalith, whatever. And I'll grab another Falchion, too. While we're down here, I'll grab a Falchion. And then, probably the first crystal weapon will be... I think the first crystal weapon will be the Scythe. Because so far I've been using that on every DLC boss. But I think that, yeah, that would actually be good. That's the thing, is that if that existed, even if it was lightning damage, it would still be... That would actually be good. Dark Moon is better on some enemies. It depends. I think on Nito, Dark Moon is better. But I think on most enemies, lightning is better. It depends on the enemy. So for Dark Moon Blade, you get 2.0 times damage, or you get 1.9. So because I'm in rank 1 of the Covenant... Well, technically, okay. If you're willing to grind like crazy, Dark Moon Blade is always better than Sunlight Blade. Because every rank in the Covenant increases the damage Dark Moon Blade. But I think against most enemies are weak to lightning enough that Dark Moon Blade will either do less damage or negligibly more damage. Does that make sense? So like there's lots and lots of enemies where Dark Moon, where the extra any extra damage you get out of Dark Moon Blade will be negligible, if any at all. Versus Sunlight Blade, where like most enemies are weak to lightning, so it seems like Sunlight Blade is maybe like a little more effective, I guess. I don't know. In most cases, even if Dark Moon Blade is a tiny bit better against a lot of bosses, it doesn't matter. But Dark Moon Blade does technically have better scaling. The thing is that some bosses are resistant to lightning, and that's the bosses where Dark Moon Blade is definitely better. But I think like against Artorias, I test again. Well, here's the thing: for any non-DLC bosses, it basically doesn't matter. The bosses it matters for are like Manus and Artorias, and against Artorias, Sunlight Blade is better. Assuming rank 1 in Covenant, right? If you're at rank 3 in the Covenant, that's probably a different story. But assuming you're only rank 1 in the Covenant like I am, I'm almost certain that Sunlight Blade is better in most scenarios. Now, of course, obviously there's Ornstein, right? Ornstein is resistant to lightning. Sanctuary Guardian is resistant to lightning. But like Artorias is not, and so like I think we'll try against Manus though. But against Manus has enough HP. You need both anyway. The thing about Manus is that you're not gonna, even if Dark Moon Blade is a tiny bit better, you still need to copy a Sunlight Blade because you're not gonna be able to kill him in one Dark Moon Blade, especially in New Game Plus. So it's like you kind of have to use Sunlight Blade anyway. But like really realistically, I should have both attuned at once. The other problem with Dark Moon Blade is you can't use it against Gwyn. Okay, well you can, right? But the reason why you can't use it against Gwyn is because you have to kill, if you kill Gwendolyn, you can't use it anymore. So I'm not allowed to use it against Gwyn basically. Now Gwyn is resistant to lightning, but you know, that's the issue. So there's like lots of bosses I can't use it against, and so it's not that big a deal basically. Is what I'm getting at. Yeah, there's so many things wrong with Occult and Occult and the other one. There's like a lot of stuff wrong with Occult and the other one. Those are like, oh wait, you know what I forget? We need to do something. We need to test this precious thing out. We need to test this thing out. I want to know. We need to test this thing out. Okay, so I need like 5 more. So we need to go to Undead Parish. I guess I could get some more pieces in New Game Plus, or in the next cycle, but I think we can grab some right now and it's fine. I want to test this thing out. How much does it weigh? It weighs 10. That's really bad. That's like really, really, really bad. Like that is extremely heavy for what you get. And then what we do is we go Sunlight Blade, I think, Toon Magic. We'll go Sunlight Spear. Yeah, that's what faith needs, basically. That's what pure faith needs, 100%. It needs like it need like Ornstein's Spear should do pure lightning or something, or you know there should be a weapon somewhere that's like Grant. You know, Brant should have. There should be like an ethereal weapon that does like pure magic damage, and then like a weapon that does pure lightning or something. And that is what faith needs, or one that's buffable. The other thing that Faith could have is one that's buffable. Like a weapon with lightning damage that's buffable. That, I think, would be acceptable to me as well. Well, I don't like that. That's not very good. We're still going to have to test it out further, but that was a little sad. Yeah, like that. You're absolutely right on the money. That's what Faith needs. If Faith had that, it would be very good. I mean, that's the thing about Faith, is at least you have access to both magic and lightning. But, like, that doesn't count for much when the damage is just so low. Oh, I can't do it because Sunlight's... Oh, shoot. Whatever. I can't do it because I'm not in the Covenant. Gotta be in the dumb Covenant to cast Sunlight Spear. This Covenant juggling stuff is so annoying. I'll say that much about this. Ow. Come on, bro. See, at least I get to do this. At least I get to do this. Oh, man. Yeah, I think these are the toughest non-boss enemies in the game, I think. They have, like, wonky hitboxes, they do weird stuff. Oh, my gosh. Dude, there's some guys like crazy at fighting these things, I guarantee you. There we go. So, and that's Demon Titanite. So we need like 5. Unfortunately. We need a lot of these things. Where even am I? Nope. So I think maybe we just skip this for now. If I'm being honest. Maybe I'll get the this one and then I'll call it or something. I wonder if there's like a chest somewhere that I'm forgetting about. Boom. Yeah, I think I'm overdoing this a little bit. Cuz I only need cuz I get oh shoot, yeah, I get 1 in the Undead Parish. So I get 1 in the Undead Parish, and I get 1 in the chest in Anor Londo. So I need hold up. How many do I need here? Okay. So if I get one more here, I think I think I have enough. But I may need to get 2 more from the chest in Anne Orlando, because there's 3 in chest in Anne Orlando. No, you lose it. You lose it. But the thing is, you can rejoin in the next cycle, so it's not like the end of the world, right? But yeah, so yeah, and you lose it permanently. There's nothing you can do to keep it if you kill Gwendolyn. So I killed Gwendolyn last, but that still means I can't use Darkmoon Blade for Gwyn, which is actually a really huge shame, because that's way better. That would be way better than Sunlight Blade against him. So it's actually like a really huge problem that I don't get to whatever, that I don't get to kill that I don't get so it's actually like a really massive problem that I don't get Darkmoon Blade for Gwyn. That's like that's like one of my pet peeves, is when a game ends after you kill the final boss. Like, I would much prefer if they let you, like, you know, keep going in your New Game Plus cycle, or in your cycle, and then go to New Game Plus whenever you felt like it. Oh man, that would be my preference. But there you go. So it makes Gwyn harder, but it's not like essential. I don't need it. I just have to actually parry him correctly, and it's fine. Come on. So what I should do is I should do Sunlight Spear here against these. Because if I had Sunlight Spear, I could kill them without having to resort to melee. There we go. Okay, so that's, we need to see how many more I need, because there's only 2 down here. There's only 2 more down here. So I might not even get these 2. I might just skip that for now and worry about it later. And I'll just use like Baldur's Side Sword for right now. Where is it? So I need 4, yeah. So I think I'll just save it for New Game Plus. And I'll try Dragon Slayer Spear at some point. But it's not essential. It's not essential anyway. I have, like I said, I have whatever it's called. I have, where is it? Homeward. Okay, sure. And then we'll go, I guess we'll just grab Sunlight Blade too. Yeah, it's fine. I could probably skip some of these enemies with the invisibility spell, but it's kind of hit or miss with them, is the thing. Yeah, we'll just Sunlight Blade to kill the pigs here, and then we'll and then well anyway, I should probably kill Guinevere, yeah, so these guys don't appear. But I think maybe these ones still do or something. I don't know. So it's not that big a deal. And I can even run past pigs if I want to, although they're kind of tough to run past. A little teensy bit tricky. Oh, speaking of which, we can go back to Darkwood Grain. Okay. They're not too tough to kill though, so I kind of just do it. If I die, let me put it this way. Here's the thing about killing these enemies. If I die a single time, it's not worth it not to just kill them, because they don't respawn, I don't think. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like if I goof up dodging them and I like die or something, it's literally just not worth it. It makes more sense just to like 2-shot them and move along. But I mean, hey. Oh shoot. Ah, see see now I don't have to run past the second pig at least. That's a little disheartening, but I don't have to run past the second pig now. I don't have to run past the second pig. I can just skip the second pig. I can just say, you know what, second or first pig? I don't want to hang out with you. I can just run past him because he doesn't exist anymore because I killed him. He faded into like Cheeto dust or something, which is what all enemies in these games do. You know, he kind of disappeared into morning mist or whatever, into dew. Okay, excuse me, Mr. Giant. I have very important things to do, Mr. Giant. I have to go back to Duke's Archives, and then we'll grab the crystal gem. We'll grab the crystal ember, and we'll upgrade we'll upgrade the scythe to crystal, and we'll see how it does. See, no pig. We'll upgrade the scythe to crystal, the great scythe to crystal, and then when we have a crystal great scythe, we'll try that on the DLC bosses. Basically, I think I'll still use Falchion for Sanctuary Guardian because Falchion is so good at breaking down Sanctuary Guardian's because it's so good at breaking down Sanctuary Guardian's poise or whatever. So the Sanctuary Guardian has like a ton of so the Sanctuary Guardian can stagger relatively easy, not like super easy, but like easy enough, and so we can do that for that boss. And then for these enemies, I need Baldur's Side Sword. I either need Baldur's Side Sword or no, forget that. I think we don't need Baldur's Side Sword, we need Divine Uchigatana. So usually what I do is I just use Divine Uchigatana here. Baldur's Side Sword is also fine because they're decently weak to thrust. But they're also weak enough to magic. This is why I was looking... You know what, actually, let's try Ornstein Spirit plus 4. Let's try Dragon Slayer Spirit plus 4. Let's see what this does. See what this can do. Let's give this its fair shake. Come here. Oh, that stinks. Ah, boo. Well, it broke his guard, actually. Okay. Not as bad as I thought it was. And then we'll try Baldur's Side Sword here. Come here. Come here, you. Ah, that's a 2-shot. Okay, I think what I do is I do this, though. I just do this. I'm pretty sure Divine Rapier is actually really good against these. Yeah, so I think I only 3-shot some of these, though. Let's see. Ah, it's okay. That's not bad. If they block me, though, it's a problem. So maybe we'll go Baldur's Side Sword here. I like what I see, though. Oop. Interesting. The problem is that the regular swing, though, is so terrible against them that it's like not even worth doing at all. Bro, you're breaking Seath's chairs. Homeboy. Yeah, that's okay. Uh-oh. Homeboy's breaking Seath's chairs. Unbelievable, I gotta put a stop to him. Seath asked me, he's like, hey, can you stop the channelers from breaking all my chairs? Like, these are some nice pieces of furniture, dude. Like, these are some nice pieces of furniture. Did you really think you could get away with breaking this guy's really nice furniture? Oh, I forgot Rare Ring of Revival. Oh, God. Oh, God, I forgot Rare Ring of Revival. Oh, I one-shot these. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. See this seething right? Exactly. Dude, imagine you have a nice-ass library and some freaking weirdo. Like, like the weirdo you hired to keep out, like, weirdos, like, starts breaking your chairs. I'd be so freaking mad, dude. I'd be so freaking mad. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, we gotta do something about this. That's what that's literally what I'd say, too. I'd be like, we gotta do something about this. It would be absolutely ridiculous. I'd be so mad about that. It's just ridiculous too. It's like, and the gall on them, the gall on these enemies. Like, there's some... This is a nice library. With, like, nice furniture. It's got, like, everything. Like, I would be so happy to be in a library that nice as the Duke's Archives. But these enemies, they just don't have respect for it. That's the thing. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Nice 700 big ones. Oop. Oh yeah, 300 damage on a crystal lizard too. Life is good. Okay, hopefully I don't get cursed here. If I get cursed here, it's awful. But if I don't get cursed, it's not a problem. Don't curse me, please. I need to take damage while letting my bar go down. Oh. There we go. There we go. Cool. Awesome. No curse. The curse is the thing we don't want there. If we get cursed, that's really bad. Because I don't think I even have a thingamajig on me. Okay, so Boulder Side Sword's done for right now. We switch to Great Scythe. Okay, and in fact, actually, we're gonna go another copy of. We're gonna take off stupid Great Lightning Spear as well. So for these, we want a scythe. For all these enemies, it just makes our life easier. Ow. Out of my way, Snake Man. I got business to attend to. Oh. Oh, is he still alive? No, cool. Okay, we got that covered. And then we just slice our way through the squids. This weapon is honestly so broken. I love it. I love this weapon so much. This is like the king of, this is honestly the king of Dark Souls weapons. I think there's very few weapons that are as cool as awesome as this one. Like Sellsword's Twin Blade is really great, but there's so many enemies it's not very good against because of like a lot of normal enemies and stuff. And this just like cleanly one-shots most normal enemies. 1 or 2 shots, like a huge volume of normal enemies. And it's good against bosses too. It's not the we need to go to Undead Asylum. We need to go to Northern Undead Asylum too while we're at it. Thank goodness I remembered that. Jeez. If I forget Northern Undead Asylum, that's actually really bad because I need the slab too. The slab is actually like kind of important. Oh. See, look at that, and look at how wide the attack is too. Ow. Ah, come on. Freaking weirdos. Gosh. Oh, slice. And slice. Cool, we got that covered. I'm gonna come over this way. Go up the stairs. That's gonna be pretty typical. And then we'll switch to Boulder Side Sword for the remaining enemies. Lure him down. Boom. And it doesn't get any easier than that. Let me tell you. Oh shoot. We got a Snake Man on my hot on my tail here. Boom. That's pretty simple. And then, let me think. Yeah, this next section is always a pain. There's actually no easy way around this next section, unfortunately. It's like always a pain. This next section is always a pain. So, but that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Grab that key. It's fine. It's fine. Not the end of the world. You know what? Whatever. Boulder Side Sword's fine. I was gonna try the one-handed R2 for the Uchigatana, but I think it's just not necessary. Or the Blessed Uchigatana, or the Divine Uchigatana, or whatever. Really, really awesome weapon, but and you can use it for this area just fine. The Divine Uchigatana. It's also good for this too. But since we have Baldur's Side Sword, we may as well use it because it's very good against these enemies. And it's even just fine against the summoners or whatever, the channelers. We're otherwise a little bit of a pain. Not actually, but like kind of. They're really not that tanky is the thing about them, right? So like, we can kind of just use whatever against them. So I'm not going to switch to like Great Scythe or something, even though that would probably be optimal. It would probably be a tiny amount optimal. But it's not essential. And, so yeah, so at least we get the privilege of using, Stinky Baldur's Side Sword. And it wasn't that hard to farm either. It wasn't like, I don't feel bad about, like, talking about Baldur's Side Sword and, using it. I think these enemies might be immune to bleed. If they're not immune to bleed, we maybe could do something else too. But I think they're immune to bleed, or they die before they would be able to bleed anyway. Or something. Boom. Okay. Oh, come on. Got me good. Oh, look at that clean one-shot, though. It warms the heart is what it does. Yeah, it's fine. That's totally fine. Not amazing. Yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough. That's what matters. What matters is it's good enough. There's a possibility that the Baldur's Side Sword will kind of lose its value as because there could come a point where I don't cleanly one-shot with an R2, and if that ever happens, if I don't 1- and 2-shot with an R2, it's bad. So I'll need to switch back to I'll have to switch back to which side is it on? No, I need to go up. Yeah. Excuse me. So if I can't one-shot that enemy, that's really bad. And I'll have to switch back to the Divine Uchigatana. Because the R1 on that is at least quick. Or at least much quicker than the thrust attack on this one. So that's the one pitfall that this could have. Stabby stabby. Okay. I hate this part. This part scares the crap out of me every time. Okay. Switch. Oh, come on. I'm on the wrong side, aren't I? Alright, is there a way to even... I don't know. Maybe I need to go... I think I need to go to the bottom of the ladder. What about Rapier Heavy Attacks? I guess I could try that. I could try... I mean, I do have the... Oh, hey, that's a good point. I could try Rickard's Rapier, too. Here. Rickard's Rapier might be really good. I don't even need the heavy attacks for it, probably. There we go. Actually, yeah, I should try Rickard's Rapier too. That's because that's easier to get. That's at least easier to get. I don't have to think about it. The problem is it's probably going to be less good against channelers. Because this sword does a lot of stagger. This sword does like an insane amount of stagger damage. So, that's the thing. But I could try it, yeah. I could try it on the clams even. These dumb clams that are coming up. Okay, we can give it a shot. I think this game just isn't a rapier game, though. I think it just isn't. I think that's the biggest issue. It's like on the surface, it's like, oh, you know, we get the rapier and we can try that out. But the damage just is like, okay. But all these enemies are weak to thrust, so... all these enemies are weak to thrust, so, like, whatever. Yeah, I wish DS2. I wish this was DS2 and rapiers were good. I'll be the first to say. I'll be the first to admit that I think that. I will 100% be the first to admit that I think that I wish this were DS2 and rapiers were good. But then again, I also don't wish this were DS2 because It's like an entirely different game or something. When you're talking about DS2. You're having a whole nother conversation when you're talking about DS2, so... I guess in that respect, it's just as well. But even so... Even so, Rapier's being good in this game would be kind of nice. Like, that's just not good. That's just not good, unfortunately. Oh, shoot. Wow. Unfortunately, that is just not good. That is, like, just not good. I really wish that were good. It just isn't, though. I think Boulder Sidesword might be... I think, honestly, we can try Boulder Sidesword, though. For these. Like, I'd have to R2 with it, and the R2 is, like, awkward enough that it's, like, tough to pull off. I think Ricker's Rapier has been, like, one of the bigger disappointments. But I kind of knew that going in. Let's try Boulder Sidesword against this guy. Oh. Why did it... Why is my bow equipped? Also, he's really willing to follow me far, huh? I kind of would have thought there was an invisible wall here. Yeah, even that's kind of not that impressive. It ain't no great... It's not a falchion. It's not a great scythe either. It's like kind of similar to a falchion, but like not quite. There we... Okay, well, you know, whatever. Watch. I mean, you'll see what I can do with the falchion here. Like, the falchion is, like, basically the same. It's just slightly better damage and slightly quicker. And so it's like, it feels a lot better to use the falchion, in my opinion. Watch. Yeah, I do like, you know, 30% more damage. And I stagger like crazy with it, too. But the thing about those rapiers is I think they're good for crits. They're good for, like, parries and stuff like that. But even so, I think they're still bad. But they are really light. So I guess we could try Rickard's Rapier against Gwyn, right? Because don't you get bonus parry damage on those weapons? Don't these weapons have like bonus parry damage or something? So maybe I could use this against Gwyn. And then like use it with Hornet's Ring. Try that. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try it against Gwyn. But I mean, with Great Scythe, you're hitting for a good like... you're hitting for a good... Oh, is Rickard's Rapier less good? That's such a shame. That's such a shame, because that means Rickard's Rapier is even more gimmicky. That means Rickard's Rapier is, like, even more gimmicky. Okay. There's our Crystal Great Scythe. Oh, and I need the slab still. Shoot. Whatever. We'll go to Northern Undead Asylum right now. Take care of that, and then we'll use where is it? We can use Painted Guardian Sword for this at least. At least we get to use Painted Guardian Sword for this, huh? You know, at the end of the day, at least we get to use Painted Guardian Sword for this. At least we get to go to... Honestly, we could use Painted Guardian Sword for a Seath, probably. We'll try it. Let me try it, actually. We'll give this a shot. We'll actually use it for Seath here real quick. We'll worry about the Scythe later. Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, we'll see. Okay, let me put it this way. If Rickard's Rapier doesn't do better than the Great Scythe, I'm not going to use it at all. I'm not even going to recommend it. I'm not even going to mention it, probably. Because it needs to hit harder than the Great Scythe. It needs to be able to hit harder in a crit than a Great Scythe. Like, and I highly doubt that the Rapier is even... We'll see. I doubt it's even going to get close, honestly. But we'll see. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, and it'll do just fine. But I kind of get the impression that Great Scythe will be really, really bad. Or, I mean, that Rickard's Rapier will be really bad. I get the feeling that Rickard's Rapier will hit for like 700 or 800 or something. When Great Scythe hits for like 1100 with Hornet's Ring. So you go like Sunlight Blade, Great Scythe, Hornet's Ring, and then you parry him and then hit him for like 1200, right? And so like Rickard's Rapier would have to be doing like at least 1200 for me to even think about Rapier, you know. That's kind of the thing. And so I kind of just doubt that that's even going to be on the table coming up here. But we'll see. And I think Seath can bleed too, so we can try that at least. We'll see how good we'll see whether or not whatever it's called works out for us here. We'll see if Painted Guardian Sword works out for us here. But definitely Painted Guardian Sword is not essential. And if anything, it's the extra. It's a tiny amount of extra time. The other issue with Painted Guardian Sword is if you whiff with it at all, it's not worth it. You know, that's the problem, right? So if you're like if you're ever being outranged, or if you can't hit the enemy, that's like a problem. And you can't bleed 4 kings either. That's another issue with Painted Guardian Sword. So Painted Guardian Sword is not essential. It's like decently good, but it's definitely not essential. Oh. Come on. Boom. Oh wow, okay. Bald Side Sword is good for this at least. Yeah, well it is good. It is good. You hit a boss with it, it's like great. It's like awesome. Come on. You hit a boss with it, it's freaking amazing. But if you don't hit the boss with it, you can't use it on Seath. You can't use it on Seath, and you can't use it on any boss that doesn't bleed. Because it's objectively worse than the Falchion if a boss can't bleed. Objectively, at least in my opinion. You can R2 for like maybe a little tiny bit of extra damage, but it's not that impressive. Mostly you want to R1 bosses, just because the way the timing works. Because you'll get a good number of R2s with it, or you'll get a good number of R1s. Hold up. I wish they'd drop a Curse Stone here, just in case, but it's fine. Okay. Finish off this. Oh, there's 2? Why is there so many of these dumb things? And also, this Boulder Scythe Sword isn't even better than Great Scythe here. Uh-oh. This is the wrong Great Scythe. Yeah. Watch. Oh, okay, actually, it's just as good. Frickin' clams. Come here. Get all of that fast attack they have. There we go. Okay, cool. So now I don't have to worry about that. And the reason I do that is just so I don't have to worry about it. There's like always the off chance. There's always like the 1% chance that they screw it up. And they kill me while I'm trying to fight the boss. Realistically, in most cases, he'll pick them off. He'll blast them out of the water. And so you like won't have to worry about them at all. But if for any reason, and honestly, I'm not really saving myself any time doing that, because even if I die, the run back isn't that bad. And so it's like, and then I don't have to deal with the clams at all, because there are no clams on run back. Okay. Let's see if he bleeds. No, he doesn't bleed, it looks like. Yeah, see, and the R2 just doesn't hit that much harder. Okay, so I think it's not... So Painted Guardian Sword is not essential for this boss. I think Falchion is just as good. Falchion is actually probably better, I think. Based on what I can discern. Okay, what am I doing now? Am I going to... we'll go to Northern Undead Asylum last. Before we go to DLC. We have to do it before DLC. But we don't have to do it right now. Okay. Strength 35. Warp. Then we'll go Daughter of Chaos. We go Daughter of Chaos. And then we'll do... Oh yeah, we kill What's-His-Face. Yeah, see, like, I'm not even going to use Painted Guardian Sword for this next guy. I don't think it's worth it for this next guy either. Like there's a lot of bosses it's not worth it for. There's like a handful of bosses that it's really good for, and like every other boss it's like not worth it. Painted Guardian Sword. It's not good for Speaking of which, should I ever reply? There's a comment. Somebody was talking about Painted Guardian Sword and how good it was. And I think I don't want to be rude, but I don't think Painted Guardian Sword is better than Falchion, basically. I think again in like a very small number of scenarios it's better than Falchion. But in like 99% of scenarios it's not better than Falchion. Based on my testing. Based on my like exhaustive, well, not like exhaustive, but based on my relatively significant, or based on my relatively consistent testing on the subject, I'm pretty sure it's not better than Falchion in most cases. And even against the bosses where it is better than Falchion, it's not that much better than Falchion. I think, like, for example, even on like, well, so like, okay, so Asylum Demon doesn't matter. Because you plunge and can attack him for massive damage with Great Scythe. And then Stray Demon, it's a little bit better against Stray Demon, but also it's not essential because he's Stray Demon. And then Demon Fire Sage, I think Demon Fire Sage is the one where it's the worst because that's the one that wants to get away from you all the time. So if you're doing Demon Fire Sage, I think neither one is the right answer for Demon Fire Sage as far as I can tell. I think the optimal one for Demon Fire Sage is Great Scythe, because if he hops backwards, you can R2 him. You can run towards him and R2 him, and then you'll like still get a bleed proc at some point. But against those bosses, the damage is still worse. For hold up. Okay. Okay. Maybe I'll look at the damage numbers one more time for PGS. Yeah, this is pretty good. Maybe the scaling is like out of control for it. So 205 plus 205. Oh, so you, okay. So you're losing 10. Or you're losing 15, and you're gaining about 15, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you lose 15, and then you gain, like 14. Wait, am I counting that right? No, so 24. Oh, so you do a little tiny bit more damage with Painted Guardian Sword, yeah. You actually gain a tiny amount of damage because of scaling. Okay, never mind. So you actually do get a teensy tiny bit more damage with scaling, I think, if I'm reading that correctly. Because what's 229 minus 205? So that's 200 and... So that's 21, or 24. So you lose 15, but you gain 24. Okay. Yeah, so you do a tiny bit more damage. But it's like so impractical. It is still insanely impractical for sure. There's like no way around it. Like the level of impracticality is still so severe with it. But the bleed procs are nice. Yeah. So I think there are some bosses where it's like still. I mean, I'll try it against Demon Fire Sage here in a minute. But I think the problem with Demon Fire Sage is he's gonna try to get away from me, and then it's gonna be even worse than Falchion. Because I'm gonna have to get even closer to him. Or there's like a possibility that I'll be like really close and like hits will still miss or something. So. We'll try it against Demon Fire Sage. Maybe I'll just like instantly kill Demon Fire Sage. Because I'll get a big stinky bleed proc and it'll be like way better. It's definitely not essential. Painted Guardian Sword is not essential. And it's definitely worse for like a lot of average enemies too, I think. Honestly, maybe it's good for these. Maybe like this guy will die really fast to it. Because of bleed damage, but... I mean, like, the thing is, the extra when you're that deadly, the extra range actually does matter. Is I think the thing. Like when you're that deadly, like it's I don't need any more damage out of this thing really. I don't think 24 points of damage is going to make that much a difference here. And I think the stagger damage from this thing is also really insane too. So I think maybe Falchion, well definitely I think they each have their own uses for sure. But I think Falchion, I do prefer Falchion personally. Based on maybe that's my bias or something. But people talk about the Painted Guardian Sword and I think it's only okay. It's definitely a nice tool to have for this character. It's definitely something, and we'll try it. We'll try it out in this next boss. And if it does really good, I'll be like, oh, okay, it does really good actually here. Against these, because these bosses can be annoying. They're not actually tough, but they can definitely be annoying. This one in particular, actually, this is the worst one of the bunch, I think, more or less. They can all be a little bit annoying, but I think this one is the worst for sure. So if we can, if Painted Guardian Sword makes this really effortless, then that's fine. But you can't use Painted Guardian Sword on the next guy on a Centipede Demon, because he's just too weird and awkward to do that with. Like that's never gonna pay off against Centipede Demon, you know. And so like that's another good example of a boss where it's like you just got to do Great Scythe anyway. I guess Falchion wouldn't really be that much better against him. Because Falchion is also, like, the range on Falchion isn't that much higher. So it's not like that's going to be a perfect solution for Centipede Demon either. But that's the sort of little thing where... Oh, hey, there's one more. I forgot. There's one more. Oh, this one chases me, huh? I don't even have to fight this one. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue with that too. Like it's like any extra is like maybe superfluous. But anyway, we can do this too. Oh yeah. Oh. With this bonfire just in case, because demon fire saves can be an issue. It's not likely that it's going to be a problem, but you can. It's definitely something that can come up. And then Falchion I'm still going to use for like Sanctuary Guardian. Sanctuary Guardian can't bleed, and that extra tiny bit of range actually kind of matters for Sanctuary Guardian because he can do lots of weird stuff. It's like I said, you could totally use Painted Guardian Sword for him too. But I definitely think that there's like every time I think about like Sif. Sif's another great example where like I think Sif can bleed, but actually hitting Sif with the Painted Guardian Sword is not good. Like, Sif is, like, just barely out of reach for Painted Guardian Sword. And like I said, you don't even need it for 4 Kings. I guess it's technically better for 4 Kings because of the damage. Because of the slightly higher damage. But I mean, yeah, I think 4 Kings is another great example of one where it's fine. You wouldn't want to use it on Calamite either, though. And Calamite, I mean, I've never bled Calamite in my whole time playing Dark Souls, actually. I've literally never successfully bled Calamite in my entire time playing these games. So I think that's just, like, not necessary. And Calamite's another one where range really does matter a little bit. Ow. This is why I got the bonfire. Oh, we were going to try Painted Guardian Sword anyway, huh? Yeah, well, that's fine, because I wanted to try Painted Guardian Sword. It was all planned. It was all planned, you see, because I wanted to try Painted Guardian Sword. That's why I died there. That's why I made the choice to die there. And it wasn't at all an accident at all. It was completely planned, according to plan. Yeah, so like 4 Kings, I think Painted Guardian Sword is maybe a little bit better on 4 Kings even. Because you just like you're hugging them anyway. Yeah, and like it's fine. It's definitely not unusable or anything. Maybe I'm making the range out to be like the worst thing in the world. It's totally fine. The thing is that like the problem with daggers in this game is that the damage is really bad. So you have the bad range and then you also have the bad damage. And that's what really kills. Oh shoot. In a lot of ways that's the main issue with daggers. Is the fact that you have the bad range and the bad damage at the same time. I mean I can look. I'm pretty sure it's the same. To me it seems like it's the same. I'll look though in a second here. come on. Yeah, okay, this is fine. Yeah, I think even against Manus, this would maybe be slightly more optimal. But then again, you'd have to, if you wanted a crystal, you'd have to farm those. When there's like a guaranteed falchion too. So it's like, I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe the range matters a little tiny bit for Manus. Uh-oh, I think I unequipped it too fast. It's okay. It's fine. I think that's going to cost me a level up, though. I think for this guy, I have to use Scythe. I'm not going to mess with with either of those here. Because I think this guy can't even bleed. Oh, yeah, we need to check stamina cost, don't we? So, yeah, I think technically, for some bosses, Painted Guardian Sword. I don't want to farm another one, though, is the thing. So I can't crystal it. I can't make it crystal. Yeah, or... Painted Guardian Sword might be a little bit less, even. Is that about the same? I need to have a setup here. So it's to the... It's to that middle one right there. Or it's... Okay. So I think I have the... Oh, one-handed? Yeah, it's the same. It's exactly the same. If it's different, it's very small. A very tiny, tiny difference. It's like an imperceptibly tiny difference if it's different. So yeah, that's one thing. At least their stamina cost is the same. So I can't just, like, yeah, I don't know. I knew the Painted Guardian Sword wasn't essential. It wasn't the end-all and be-all, for sure. But then again, like, getting a tiny bit of extra damage is kind of nice. So, it's definitely not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely not, like, way overrated or something. It's very good weapon. Absolutely. Under no uncertain terms. But I mean, like, I don't know if it's worth using on Manus. Just because maybe the range makes a difference on Manus. I could try it. I guess I could try it. That's what, honestly, what I should probably do is just, like, try it on Manus and see what happens this next cycle. This guy is just the worst. Oh, come on. Really? 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 You're gonna do this to me? You're gonna do this to me already, game? You're gonna make me put up with this? Make me put up this crappy, dumb freaking video game? Bam! Ah, man. Oh, boy. Does this guy even have a moveset? Or does he just do random stuff? Miserable. Absolutely miserable. Okay. Okay. We'll go back to Painted Guardian Sword, I guess. We'll try it against this guy, too. If I miss a single attack, though, I'm gonna call it bad. If I miss even a single attack against this enemy, I'm gonna be mad about it. I'm gonna be like, no. No. Is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be like Peter Griffin in an episode of Family Guy, where he says no. You know, you kind of get the idea. If you've never seen that television program, it's hard to explain, but it makes sense. That's conceptually solid. Flame Lurker gone hollow. Flame Lurker gone bad. Flame Lurker gone evil. This is like the evil version of Flame Lurker. Flame Lurker is a gentle, beautiful creature. This is like an evil version. This is like an evil, like messed up, evil version of Flame Lurker. This is like a version of Flame Lurker for bad people. This is like the flame lurker, like when you die and you go to heaven, you see the flame lurker, and this is like if you die and you go to a bad place. This is like the evil. This is like the flame lurker you get in Heck, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh god, this is like what flame lurker. This is like flame lurker's like evil version. Honestly, 24 points of extra damage might actually be a big deal. Okay, cool. Never mind. That was great. Awesome. That was actually really awesome. That was actually really awesome. Yeah, I think this might actually be optimal for Manus. Like, maybe. This might actually be optimal for Manus. Never mind. I don't want to... Oh, God. Yeah, getting one for Crystal Infusion is going to stink, though. Getting one Crystal Infused is going to stink, though. Like, really badly. And then, like, I think they... What's the... So they have 100 durability. Foul Shoot is 160. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. We'll see how the Great Scythe does it, how the Great Scythe lasts. Because I think I'm locked into Great Scythe because... I think Great Scythe is actually maybe a little tiny bit better for DLC bosses, because the thing about this weapon is that it shreds bosses. These lower damage weapons, right? They shred non-DLC bosses, but the second you get to a DLC boss, it's a lot tougher. And I'm not even going to use this thing against an X-boss, because I don't want it to. I don't want to have issues with the hitbox. I don't want it to sail over the head of the little grub, which oh shoot, uh oh. Why did I take off the orange charred ring? I'm out of my mind, I guess. It's like the evil version of Flame Licker. It's like the evil version of Flame Licker. It's like you know how like what's like a great example here? Like you know how like it's like Flame Lurker with like a beard on. Or whatever, you know, it's like the antimatter version of Superman, or like Bizarro or something, like something like that. That's what's going on. It's like the anti-Superman. Like Flame Lurker is like my hero. Flame Lurker is honestly like my hero. I wish Flame Lurker I wish Flame Lurker could be at my kid's birthday party or something. I don't have a kid, but if I did have a kid, I would hire the Flame Lurker to be there for entertainment because I love the Flame Lurker. The Centipede Demon is nefarious and evil. There's something wrong and sick about the Centipede Demon. It is a little tiny bit worse to deal with than Flame Lurker. Excuse me. And I still think Fellowship is probably better against most normal enemies. Maybe. Yeah, well, Pennywise is not invited because I hated that movie. I saw that movie and it sucked really bad. That movie was a real total piece of crap. I hated that movie so much. It was just awful. From beginning to end, it was just so bad. I hated it. So Pennywise isn't invited. Not because he's a scary, creepy weirdo clown, but because his movies stink. Or the movie I saw stunk really bad. So that's why Pennywise is on the no-fly list. I would much rather have Flame Lurker at my kid's birthday party. I think maybe Pennywise the Clown. I mean, there's like a book or something, and I guess people think that's good. I mean, honestly, when I really think about it, I'd rather invite the Centipede Demon over to my kid's birthday party than Flame Lurker. Or I mean, not Flame Lurker, Pennywise. But in the meantime, Flame Lurker is definitely welcome at my kid's birthday party. Flame Lurker I would give my I would let Flame Lurker drive my car, which I also don't have a car either. But if I did have a car, I would let the Flame Lurker drive it for free. And then also I would I'd watch the Flame Lurker's cat or something. I'd watch Dragon God. He's like, the Flame Lurker comes to me and he's like, hey, can you watch the Dragon God for the weekend? And I'll be like, yeah. And he'd be like, okay, good. The warding is in the cabinets, and you have water veil under the sink, and you know, break the rubble with a halberd or something, or like a really heavy weapon, and then call me if there's any issues. And then I'd soul thirst the dragon god. Oh yeah, and then also the ballista are in the living room. And there's one in the living room, and then there's also one in the bathroom on the opposite side of the house. So that's what would happen if I. That's what would happen. The flame lurker, me and flame lurker go way back. We're best buds. I love the way he gets stuck on the scenery, so I can kill him with a bow and arrow. That always warms my heart. Nope. That's always the thing that warms my heart about the flame lurker, is how he gets stuck on the scenery, and I get to kill him with See, against these enemies, I think Falchion is definitely better, because I don't have to worry about range at all. Not that it's like, not that it probably matters, but. And I think the stagger damage is higher too. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I want a crystal infuse. I think that might actually be what tears it, is crystal infusion, unfortunately. And I can't bleed Manus anyway. So we'll see. Just for my, I mean, maybe I'll see how it does against. I'll see what I'll do is I'll try it. I'll try the plus 15. I'll try the plus 15 one against Manus. And I'll see how it does. And if I like its performance, I'll maybe do Crystal, whatever they're called, but I kind of think that's a little more work than I want to put in. Crystal Painted Guardian Sword, but I think that's a little more work than I want to put in. And Crystal, we kind of need Crystal at this point. That's the only way we're going to gain damage, basically. That's kind of it. That's sort of the last frontier of, like, damage gain. And it's not even going to be that much. We'll see. Actually, we can look. Well, we need the plus 5 before we can check that. Oh, shoot. Oh, I need to quit out. What am I doing? Hold up. What am I doing? I don't have the plus 5 crystal Great Scythe yet, but once I do, we'll check the damage. And we'll see how much damage we really gain here with this character. Because if it's enough, yeah, because Painted Guard, it's on the table. Crystal Painted Guardian Sword is on the table, but it's not something I want to do. There are reasons not to do it, and so if I miss like a single attack, against Manus, I'm gonna be like no, because the extra range actually does kind of matter, and not to mention the other like disadvantages, the extra durability. It's like the Falchion is like 50% more durable, which like actually matters for a crystal weapon. It's not like the end of the world. It's not the end all and be all. But it's the sort of thing where I don't want to be making tons and tons of these things. You know? I don't want to make tons. I don't want to have to farm a bunch of them, and I certainly don't want to be making a bunch of them. But we'll see how long the crystal weapons last. Maybe it's not that big a deal. But if one breaks, if it breaks on me, that's really bad. If it breaks on me while I'm trying to attempt the boss, that's like really stinky bad. And so I'd almost rather Falchion in that case. Just to give me like more attempts or something. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just like coping here because Painted Guardian Sword is slightly better. But even if it is better, it's relatively slight. Relatively slight. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Cool. Boom. Boom. Okay. We did it. We did it, Reddit. There we go. Nice and simple. Nice and easy. Okay. We can level up again too here. Okay. Shadow Mask. Level up. We'll go Strength again. Okay, now we need to go to the Undead Asylum. Warp. We need to go to the Undead Asylum before we go to DLC. Oh, I forgot to get the stupid... Oh, shoot. I forgot to get the stupid the pendant. I forgot to get the dumb pendant. The dumb, stupid pendant that I hate. I forgot to get the stupid pendant. I don't have the DLC key. So I have to go back to Duke's Archives really fast. To get the dumb key. Because I forgot it. Unbelievable. And I think maybe I'll try Painted Guardian Sword against this next boss too. We'll give it a shot. Like I said, if I miss a single attack, it's no good. If I miss an attack or it doesn't stagger him, it's worse. That's the thing. If it either misses an attack or it doesn't stagger him, it's much, much, much worse. Like absolutely. Because like I'm, you know, the extra damage from like, yeah, because the stagger on him is really crucial. Because he's like one of the bosses that can stagger, and he's pretty easy to stagger actually if you hit him with the falchion. So that's like the one, that's like the thing, right? So we'll see Painted Guardian Sword on whatever it's called. Definitely. We'll find out. Come here. Oh, sweet. Oh, cool. Okay. Now we go, we need to pick these ones off, right? Where's the other one? There are two. Snipe. Oh wow, a one shot. Oh, we need Doll too, don't we? We need to get Doll too. Okay, cool. Oh shoot, I died. Well, that's gonna stink. That's gonna have to stink to deal with. I didn't dodge. I didn't dodge him properly. Whoops. Whoopsies. Oopsie doodle. See, this is why you gotta hit the bonfire. This is why you gotta hit that bonfire. Hit that freaking bonfire. Gotta hit that bonfire, bro. Gotta hit that freaking bonfire, bro. It really is that simple. Let me tell ya. That's boys, their egg on my face. After that blunder. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I got the bleed proc, so it was all fine, right? Not quite. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Okay, we curl up like a ball. Snipe him down good. Okay, you frickin' zombies. Bam. Boom. Double kill. Triple kill. Rampage. Quadra kill. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm all about around here. Unstoppable. Exactly. Look at that. Come on. Come on. Freaking controller. Okay. So we hit the bonfire. And then we hit that darn bonfire, and then we take it from the top. We take it from the freaking top. Okay, I guess I didn't have to kill those hollows, huh? Whatever. Oh well. 'Cause they just come back. Oop. Look at that. Where's the other one? Whatever. Worry about that later. Yeah, he's somewhere around here. You approach from the back, you don't... Yeah. I guess I can't deal with him as easily. The explosion should... There he is. I can see him. Oh, I missed an attack. I missed an attack. Falchion's better. I missed an attack, so the Falchion's better. Kind of, actually. Oh, look at that. I missed a bunch. Oh, my God. Falchion. Falchion W. Hardcore Falchion W, bro. Hardcore Falchion W. I just missed another attack. I'm sorry, everyone. Sorry, Falchion is actually better than Painted Guardian Sword. Look, I don't make the rules, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I missed like 4 or 5 attacks there. That was brutal. It's like, you tell me that that's fine. I want somebody to look me in the eye and tell me that that's fine, because it was not. And my lawyers will be in touch with the Painted Guardian Sword within the fortnight, because that was brutally unfair to have to deal with under any circumstances. I am disgusted and appalled by the poor performance of the Painted Guardian Sword in that respect. Honestly, it probably nets out because of the bleed procs. It probably like nets out as being gain still because of the bleed procs. But what about bosses that don't have bleed procs, huh? What about those bosses that don't have bleed procs? What happens then, game? We'll see. We'll see. There's not really that much of a cost to die to what's his face, so to Sanctuary Guardians, so we're gonna have plenty of opportunity to test it out. And then I want to see what the Crystal Infusion does, or the Crystal Upgrade Path does for this Great Scythe here. So we're gonna go Reinforced Weapon, Crystal Great Scythe, boom. Okay. Let's see what the difference looks like here. So 250 plus 247. So we're looking at almost 500 damage. Okay, and then Great Scythe Crystal is 500 and oh, the durability is really poor though. Look at that. This is going to be interesting. So, I mean, this is going to be really interesting to use, actually. Because this thing only has a durability of 13. But what is it actually? Hold on, let me look at the critical on some of this stuff. So what's the critical on this thing? Oh, it only has a critical of 100. Oh, okay. So the critical doesn't matter. The critical modifier basically doesn't matter. So 270, 267. That's a gain of about 20 plus another 20. So it's about 40 damage in gain, which is actually substantial. I wouldn't call it like essential, but it's substantial. Okay, cool. So we'll try that. We'll try that at some point. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's like a crippling problem with... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long this thing lasts. If this thing breaks on me, I'm gonna be mad about it. Or I won't be mad about it, but I'm gonna be like, okay, that's bad. If this thing breaks on me, depending on how fast this scythe breaks on me, because I have to kill at least Artorias with it, and I also probably want to use it against Manus too. Ideally, because those bosses, it seems like either Falchion or Painted Guardian Sword would be a bad choice, because you need those big, huge, spicy physical damage hits, and they're very like dodge oriented. So I'm not like I have used Falchion on Manus, but I don't think it's... What's the normal Great Scythe durability here? Maybe honestly the durability of these things is kind of sus. Okay, so it's 130 for the Great Scythe. Because I don't believe that it's gonna break as fast as some of these weapons will, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna be really interested to see how long Crystal lasts here. Because yeah, it's gonna... I mean, it's like, it's not essential for sure, and obviously it's like relatively gimmicky anyway. But we'll see what it can do. But I depending on how fast this thing breaks, I'm definitely not gonna farm Painted Guardian Swords. I'm not gonna sit there and farm like 10 of them or something. I considered that for a little bit, but I don't think that's worth it. So I think, unfortunately, Falchion probably wins on the basis of the fact that I don't have to farm falchions. I can just like go pick one up, and like that's annoying, right? That's annoying. It's lame. Honestly, farming great painted guardian swords might actually be less work than picking up the falchion, but if I routed it incorrectly, it's like not actually a problem. Oop. Because I need to hit that bonfire before Quelaag anyway, for safety, in case I accidentally goof up. Oop. So that's the thing. Boom. Okay. Ow. Oop. Okay, I can't believe I forgot to kill the golem. Boom. Okay, cool. Now it's golem time. Bam. 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 Sweet. There it is, finally. After forgetting to do it a whole bunch. Oh. Okay, so now we get to go try, now we get to go try it out. Now we can try Painted Guardian Sword out. So we go warp, we go... where is it? Undead Parish. We need to go to Undead Parish. So we go to Undead Parish. And then we go to... And then we, yeah, we drop, we go down. Okay, where is it? We need, Painted Guardian Sword, yeah. We'll give this a shot. And then we'll try Darkmoon Blade out, too. And I guess we could do this against Priscilla, too. We tried against Priscilla, too. I think. The thing is, I don't know if the stagger damage is the same. If the stagger damage is the same, that's another thing about the Falchion, too. But yeah, so I don't know. And obviously these kills normal enemies just fine. That's not going to be an issue. But we already knew that. That was already understood. That was already well understood as far as these things go. So I probably have, I think for dinner tonight I'll have a Mapo tofu. Or no, maybe I'll have a, or I see I didn't even do the beef and broccoli. I had a pad thai. I had a pad thai last night. So what I think I'll have tonight is I'll have beef and broccoli. And that'll be really tasty. I'll have a nice tasty beef and broccoli. Or, well, not beef and broccoli. It'll be made with mushrooms. So, but I either need to do that or I need to fry up some tofu for dinner. And I've started doing this thing where what I do is I take the tofu, I slice it up into thin strips. And then what I do is I take the tofu, I slice it up into thin strips. And then what I do is I coat it in cornstarch. I just put it in a corn, not even like a fancy. So this is what you need to do if you want to make tofu taste really good. Okay, there's two tricks. The first one is to put your tofu in a saltwater solution. Not very salty. It will absorb a lot of salt if you put in too much salt. So you want to be careful. You want to have like a reasonable amount of salt. Unfortunately, I can't give you exact measurements of how much salt because I don't do this very often. Because it's like a lot of work to have it sitting there in a pot on the counter or in the fridge or whatever. But you can do it, but you got to be careful with it in experimentation. But the other thing you can do is you can make tofu takes a breading really well. So you can fry it. You can fry tofu with a breading and it does a really good job. It takes it really well and it's very delicious. Okay. And it's like the tofu itself is pretty neutral. So you're kind of just getting a tasty sort of like it has a good like kind of like feel to it, kind of a good mouth feel to it. The breading really helps it a lot. And And I've definitely fried tofu plenty of times without a breading, but I think frying it with a breading is a one step above, one cut above. Personally. Oh, shoot. Ow. Okay, goose that up. Uh-oh. Okay, well, we tried again. We give that another shot. We give that another chance. What's up, dude? How you doing? Excited to watch my biggest blunder? Which is dying to this dumb boss. Hold up. We'll get it. Oh yeah, absolutely. Not immediately. Unfortunately, I haven't been playing I've been playing Elden Ring a little bit. But it's not my, I've been playing Skyrim in the background right now. Because I want to cover Skyrim at some point in the future. Ow. I think I just bled him. The wiki says he's immune. I think the wiki's wrong. I think I just bled him. But I also missed like 2 attacks too. So I need to block him. I'm like legitimately doing this fight wrong anyway. What was that? Yeah, so the wiki says you can't bleed him. Yeah, I'm like really excited to do Skyrim. Yes, I have played Morrowind. I have played Morrowind at least once. I played it about 1.5 times. It's not a game that I've specialized in especially hard. You know, like it's not a game that I've put like a ton of time into. It's a game that I like, you know, I did a bunch of like cheesy stuff and I beat the game like once. But Morrowind is definitely on the table. Morrowind is very much on the table as far as this stuff goes. But my plan is to do Elden Ring after Skyrim. So I want to finish Skyrim up, and then once Skyrim is done... So the basic order is I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this character, and then I'm going to go do... Oh yeah, no, I read somewhere that he's not bleedable. I don't know, maybe I'm just like... crazy, because I swear I read he wasn't bleedable. I swear I read somewhere he was not bleedable. And I swear it was Fextra Life, too. Fextra Life has never been wrong as far as I can tell. Yeah, maybe I accidentally read it on fandom or something. I just didn't even pay attention. Because it's tough to... this boss is tough enough that, like, I would not judge somebody too hard for thinking that he's bleedable when he's not. Or not knowing that he's bleedable. Fudge. Gosh darn it. Can you please just cut me some slack, bro? Oh, God. This guy. We're like stuck in a loop. We're stuck in a time loop here. Well, fandom is like whatever. Like that's like a dead wiki. Oh shoot. I need to block him. Why am I... These DLC bosses, man. See, people say that Fextra Life is wrong about some stuff, but as far as I can tell, Fextra Life has never been wrong. At least in my experience. I've never, ever looked at the Fextra Life wiki and seen something and been like, that's wrong. The exception is that Fextra Life sometimes is missing information. So, like, sometimes I'll look at Fextra Life and be like, oh, they don't know about this chunk or whatever. Although, probably I should fix that, honestly. That's the sort of thing that I should actually fix now that I think about it. Like, I feel like I'm like, I should fix that, you know what I mean? Like, I should actually, like, help them out. Yeah, it's not like the perfect resource or anything like that. We might actually try Great Scythe against him. Because this has been... I've been struggling here. Oh, shoot. Yep. Well, there goes that. Yeah, I should probably do that. The thing is, I don't want to, like, step on people's toes. Because it's like Wikipedia and stuff where you should try to edit it. And you're like, people get mad at you or whatever. You know, because there was a time when Wikipedia was new. But nowadays, it's like everyone's always trying to, like, deface Wikipedia or whatever. So I'm, like, nervous about them, like, you know, having issues with what my edits or whatever. I don't know. They used to, I remember that and that being so annoying. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was really, really funny. Because it would be really hard to have to deal with. Because I'd have to close Windows immediately or else it would, like, tank my RAM and stuff. Yeah. That was funny. That was funny. I remember that. I'm pretty sure they don't do that anymore. Because I remember that being a thing. Oh, look at that, actually. Maybe I'll just do this instead. Look at that, actually. And I don't have to worry about range at all. There we go. Okay, cool. Well, I lost a bunch of souls, but that's okay. Okay, so it's still a perfect durability. Cool. See, I could have leveled up there if I hadn't lost those souls. I remember that. I remember that as clear as the day when they would force the stream. No, I think Fextra Life is actually really good. I use Fextra Life a lot for a lot of different things. I think the problem is that the biggest issue is they have too many wiki sites for a lot of games they don't really care about. Oh, Wasteland. Yes, that's the problem. Is that they have a wiki for Oblivion Remastered, and it's like really bad. They have like a really, really, really bad wiki for Oblivion Remastered. As like a great example. But I think Fix Your Life has some stuff that Wikidot doesn't have, or something. I don't know. I check both. So if when I'm doing research for these games, I look at both. I look at both Fix Your Life, and I also look at Wikidot. 100, absolutely right. Like that's just not even up for debate. I have to. I look at both because sometimes they'll have different information presented, which is really nice. But for example, if I was doing Oblivion Remastered stuff, I wouldn't even look at. I don't even necessarily think I would look at Fextra Life. Well, I'll see. Yeah, they need wikis that are actually good, and so it's like if the people who work at Fextra Life are not working on the wikis, they shouldn't have the wikis. You know what I mean? Like you need people who are like actually doing it, right? And so you have like a wiki for some dumb game that, for some game that the Fextra Life and the people who work for him are not playing. It's like really bad. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't see what's up with that. What even is Wasteland 3, by the way? I mean, I need to look this up. I've never heard of this. I've never heard of Wasteland 3. What is this? What is this guy doing? What is this guy doing? What? I know he comes in. Okay, well, hold up. Let's look at this Wasteland 3. I want to look up this Wasteland 3 thing you're talking about. Because it sounds interesting. Or is this the sequel to that old game? That old-ass game? Is this the sequel to that really, really old game series? The pre-Fallout stuff? No, I don't want to get freaking copyrighted or whatever. This looks cool. This looks like a really cool game, actually. Yeah, because the old ones. Yeah, I know there's the really old Wasteland games. The really, 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 really old Wasteland games. The super old computer Wasteland games from like the 80s or whatever. Or from like the early 90s or something. I don't think they're from the 80s. I think they're from the early 90s, but like way old, yeah. With like the super simplistic graphics. Yeah, really cool looking games. I should probably get into those a little bit. Oh shoot. No, shut up, please. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to get copyright claims. I don't know why the Steam decided that it was that time to play the frickin' video. Gosh darn it. I'm gonna like look after this and it's gonna be like, your stream has been demonetized because of this music that was in it for 2 seconds. They're gonna bust my they're gonna bust me over that. Well, let's get that off the off the screen even. Huh. Huh, interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like that's like, I mean, look, it's not the end of the world, right? But like we all agree that, you know, it's fine. Except for the fact that, you know, it looks really bad for them. It's like you're like no better than fandom at that point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that they're no better than fandom. That's what fandom does. Fandom's like, oh, new game comes out, here's a wiki for it. They just like, boom. They just like spit it out. And they expect somebody to do it, to actually do the work for it. And so Effects Your Life is doing the same thing. That's like really, that's like lame. Like they need a guy who's on it. Basically. They need like a guy who's like really on it. And he's like really combing through it. Oh. Ow. So yeah, you have my sympathy about that. Absolutely. Oh shoot. They might. I think nowadays, you never know whether or not a game's gonna get an update nowadays, is the problem. Which actually kind of annoys me. I sort of wish we'd go back to the days when games wouldn't get updates. Unless it's like really important and really small. Shoot, I'm not gonna have enough. Oh shoot. Well, I should just let him charge. I knew I didn't have enough stamina for that. Shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on. No! Shoot. Yeah, see, I don't know how game design works, really. I kind of get the suspicion that a game doesn't get updated if it kind of fails. Oh, they're bad. I kind of get the impression that if a game is, I sort of, my impression is that a game doesn't get updates if it's, like, doing badly. It's sort of like the impression I get. And the DLCs are bad if the game is doing badly. But then again, there's games like Divinity Original Sin that don't really get updates, but then they're still really good. Like, that's another really great example, of a game series where, like, there's, like, no DLCs, but the game is still really good. But I think for some of these games, it's really tough. Yeah, well, it's like, it's just not the same as, like, I think Divinity Original Sin is, like, the exception that proves the rule. Like, that's the main, like, CRPG series that, like, is, like, iconic for being a new CRPG game. But I guess Wasteland 3, I think I've heard of it before. I think I heard of it. I think somebody was telling me about it or something at some point. And so, like, yeah, I mean, there you go. Like, it's not bad or anything. Under no, you know, absolutely. It looks great. It looks awesome to me. But it's not a game that I thought to myself, like, oh, I have to pick this up right now. I love Divinity. Divinity 2 especially was really good. What are you talking about? Yeah, people... Oh, I didn't hit the... Why didn't I hit this? Oh, I didn't hit the freaking elevator. Oh. No, I'm not gonna fight him locked off. Or Artorias. I'm not gonna fight Artorias locked off. I don't need to. It's fine. Like I'm just used to doing it locked on. I don't know. I think I'm just dodging badly. Is the problem? Like locked off is not gonna save me. It's literally just bad. Bad dodging. Oh no, sorry. I was talking to the other person where they're talking about like the somebody was talking about locking off of what's his face, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna. Well, I didn't hit the elevator. If I had hit the elevator, it would have been fine. I need to play Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is a game I need to play. That's the game I like have to play. Yeah, sorry, no, I was I'm talking to both people at once. No, but Baldur's Gate 3 is oh shoot. Oh. Gotta try that again. No, I need to play Baldur's Gate 3 because I love Divinity Original Sin 2. I absolutely adore Divinity Original Sin 2. Divinity Original Sin 2 is like a game I want to play again really badly. That was like shockingly good. It was like shocking. Oh, this is 3. This is +3. Yes, I know. It's like I went the wrong path on that second one. So I didn't hit the elevator and then I somehow screwed up the second half of the path to the other elevator. Yes. No, that's the thing is that Divinity Original Sin 2 has the bad path, but it's like really tough. Or it's not really tough. Divinity Original Sin 2 it's like really niche. Like the bad path barely matters in Divinity Original Sin 2. And I don't even think there's a bad path in Divinity Original Sin 1. I think there's like kind of a bad path, but it doesn't really matter. Divinity Original Sin 1 is not as good. So I've actually played, believe it or not, I've actually played all of their games. I've actually played 100% of their games. I played Divine Divinity, which is like an old PC game from like 2001. I played Beyond Divinity from 2003 or 4. I played Divinity 2, which was from Divinity 2, which was from like that was from like okay, where? How did I screw this up? Oh, I just don't know. I went that way for some reason. Okay. I played Divinity 2, and Divinity 2 was okay. Divine Divinity was kind of fun, but it like stunk a little bit. It like, you know, like it was trying to be Diablo 2, but it was like really bad. It was like it kind of reminds me of like a cross between Fallout 1 and Diablo 2. Like there's like a limited number of enemies in the game world, and there's a limited amount of experience. And there's kind of not that much to do. But at the same time, it's, oh, God. Oh, shoot. This is gonna get ugly. So I was kind of hoping they dropped down the pit. I guess some of them did. Okay, we got to do that again. Oh my gosh. Why did I do that wrong? Why did I do that wrong? Gotta try that again. It's like so ridiculous. Just like the worst way to do it. But anyway, that was bad. Sorry. Try that again. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I've actually done I've played like all of their games. Maybe not all of them, but I've played most of their games. I've played essentially all of their games, and I thought Divine Divinity was okay. So this is actually a really great story about them, about that studio in particular, Larian, because those first games are really terrible. Those games they did originally were very bad. Well, they're not very bad. They were good. They were decent. They were fine, right? They were like okay. Like if you paid, you know, here's how I think about those games. Okay, like Divinity 1 is like Divinity 1 and Divinity 2 are like the kind of games that you bought at like an office supply store years after the fact. You know how like when you go to the office supply store, I don't know, this might not make sense to non-Americans, but if you're an American you know, there's like a video there used to be like video game stores, you know, like your Game Stops and like, you know, places where you go and you buy like Game Boys and Game Cubes and PlayStations and, you know, games for those consoles, right? And then like there's also these things called office supply stores which sell like some computers, but it's mostly like an office thing. It's like they sell like pens, they sell like computers and printers for like, you know, people to do computering and printing stuff with. They sell like, you know, this kind of stuff. But those and so those places would always have a software section. And the software was always like, you know, like learn to print or like organizational software, like file organizing this, right? Or some like other like technical software, you know, some like cheapo technical software, or like a learn to type thing, you know, like Mavis Bacon's typing or whatever, you know. Stuff like that. But there'd always be a few video games. There'd always be a couple like and a lot of them would be like puzzle games or like Space Invaders type stuff. But then there was always like a few like RPGs or something. There always were like a couple like RPGs or something like that. And so every time you'd go to one of those stores, and so like Divinity 1 was like the kind of game that you'd see in like an office supply store. That's what it felt like. And Divinity 2 was even more so. Divinity 2 felt even more like that. Divinity 2 was like, okay, like this is a game that it would be like $10 at an office supply store. I go to like Staples or something, and there would be like a copy of freaking you know, Divinity 2 there. But it was actually a pretty enjoyable game. It was very like weird and unbalanced, but it was okay. I didn't hate that game. I thought it was like pretty interesting. I need to have like a picture of Divine Divinity and Divinity 2. Or I mean not Divinity 2, Beyond Divinity. The second one is not Divinity 2, it's Beyond Divinity. Divinity 2 is the third game. There's a third game in the series, and it's Beyond Divinity. And Beyond Divinity was like one of those games, you know, like when you go to like a GameStop in the Xbox 360 Wii era, and there'd be a bunch of like kind of cheapo, crappy like games on the side, right? Like maybe they're not bad, but like they're definitely not the games that like you want or you read about in magazines or that you hear like good things about. Like it's not like Gears of War. Like you go to it's the Xbox 360 era. You know, you're going to the GameStop. You want a copy of like Halo 3 or Gears of War, right? And then like there's a bunch of other games that you've like never heard of that are like on the shelf too. And they're like okay games. A lot of them are probably like totally okay. But that's like it. They're like totally okay, right? They're just like okay games. And that's what Divinity 2 was. But there's actually there's a PC version of it too for some reason. And I've played the PC version really extensively. And it's pretty okay. It's like really average. You can do RPG stuff in it. You know, you can play as like a wizard, you can play as like a fighter. You can play as like a ranger. There's like different stuff you can do in it. It's not like bad or anything. But it's also not like it's also not like good either. It's like kind of tedious to play. There's a lot of like bad sections to it. There's like a bunch of like weird like vehicle sections too. A bunch of like really crappy like vehicle sections. Which is like what's really wrong with it, honestly. It's just like all these really crappy vehicle sections. Because you turn into a dragon. That's like the main plot of the game. Is you're a dragon knight who turns into a dragon. Uh-oh. Cool. Shoot. Yeah, I should have just run. Because you needed him 3 times for that. There we go, cool. Oh, shoot. There you go. How much damage did my crystal halberd take? Okay. So yeah, I don't think yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. But anyway, what I was saying again about Divinity. Yeah, so the second game, here's the thing about the first game, right? The first game is, oh yeah, but this is the thing about the studio. The studio that makes these games. Okay, so what do the first 3 games have in common? What do Divinity, Beyond Divinity, and Divinity 2 have in common? All of them are real time. right? They have real-time combat. They think they're freaking Diablo. You know what I mean? Like they literally think they're freaking Diablo. They think they're Diablo 2, right? And what about what do one second. What do Divinity Original Sin 2 and Divinity Original Sin 1 have in common? They're both turn-based, right? That's the thing. This is a game studio that has been held back over and over and over again by like physics engines and stuff, and like real-time combat. And so it's like that's one of those things where if you want to get into game design, one thing, and you're not a very good programmer, you should consider not making your game real-time. You should consider making your game like turn-based or something, like an RPG, because that held back Larian for like decades. For decades and decades, Larian was like a B or C grade developer because they kept trying to make games. Really, I wouldn't call it C grade. You know, there's some C grade developers out there. Well, I mean, they're kind of C grade. It depends on what you qualify as C grade or not. Maybe what I should be saying is there, because you know there's like D grade developers. You know, there's like developers that are like actually making like actively meme tier games, right? Actively like dumb meme tier, you know, like Duke Nukem Forever, right? Like that's a D tier developer. The people who made Duke Nukem Forever, talented people, right? But they made like Duke Nukem Forever. I need to do Priscilla's scythe here. I need the other scythe. I need Lifeline here for these enemies because I'm not one-shotting them anymore. Even that looks kind of sus. Uh-oh. So yeah, that's like one of the key components with Larian. But the first game is like really awkward. Like it's like you can tell that it wants to be Diablo so badly. It's not. That's also not one-shotting them either. So I need to go to Falchion, I think here. You can tell that it's a sort of game that looks like it's Diablo, but doesn't play at all like Diablo. It plays really weird. And you're like trying to sit there and you're trying to, and there's like, here's what'll happen, right? Here's how the game goes. You'll get into the first dungeon and you'll kill a bunch of skeletons and you'll be like, okay, I killed a bunch of skeletons, right? Makes sense. Okay, bunch of skeletons, kill them all. That's great. Right? And then what'll happen is you'll face like a higher level skeleton that'll just like one-shot you. And you'll be like, why did that higher level skeleton just one-shot me? Like, what did I do to deserve that higher level skeleton just straight up one-shotting me? And if you're playing as a melee character, you're basically screwed, as far as I can tell. I don't know. I need to revisit the game and see if I don't know what I'm talking about. But as far as I can tell, if you're playing as a melee character, you're just screwed. There's nothing you can do to kill the skeleton. The skeleton is just like too strong for you for some reason. I don't know why, right? Great question. I would love to know why. I don't. Right? It's just like how the game is. Hold up. I need... Where is it? Your Dark Moon Talisman. And so that's like the issue with that game. Oh, you thought I was... Dang, dude. I'm sorry. It's a funny coincidence. That's a really funny coincidence. Yeah, I had some strings pulled and I cut your power at that exact moment as like a practical joke. All planned. Yeah, I know a guy in the power company who figured that out, who sorted that out for me. Oh shoot. Okay, I think we'll kill Calamite next. We'll do Calamite right now. Oop. Let's see here. Okay, so for Calamite we need to do this. We need to go Covenant. We need to go to Warriors of Sunlight. And then we need to attune... Alright, we need to do this later, actually. But we need miracles for him. Crown of the Dark Moon. For now. Yeah, there we go. So we'll do miracles on Calamite. And then I need the scythe too. Where is it? 270, 232. Okay, so I get a little bit more damage at a Life Hunt Scythe here. So we'll use Life Hunt Scythe on him. Actually, no, we'll switch to, we'll do PGS. We'll try PGS on him. I still need to do more testing on PGS. To see whether or not it's, like, actually optimal in some scenarios. Or to see how optimal it really is. I think this is a boss that on the surface, PGS would be bad against because of the range, but I think it might work. Oh, shoot. I don't need to talk to him yet. What am I doing? I don't need to talk to him yet. I need to head to, I need to go down to the one area. Okay. I need the shield, though. The Dark Moon Sans Ring, Gwyn's Crown, or wait a minute, whatever her name is. Gwendolyn's Crown. We have the miracle set up here. So I'll use Sunlight Spear, and then also Great Lightning Spear too. And it's okay. It's fine against him. It's not really good, but it's fine. It's the sort of thing where he will give you windows to use them that you wouldn't really be able to melee him in either. And I think that casting Sunlight Blade on is kind of a waste because he kind of just like screws around. It's a boss that like likes to waste your time. And so you don't really lose that much by going miracles against him. I think any other boss it would not be worth casting miracles against them, but I think for this one boss it's fine. Okay. And we'll try it against Manus too. But I think I will use Crystal Great Scythe. Yeah, it did. It worked really great last time. Have I ever played a game that's been duped by its promises? Starfield. 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 Definitely Starfield. I loved Starfield. It was actually good. But it was definitely not as good as it could have been, I think. I think they needed a little more work. But definitely Starfield. It was not as bad as people say it is. Yeah, Starfield is like the one. Because I really was excited for Starfield. I actually bought it at full price. I paid $60 for Starfield. Starfield is like the main one. Most of the time I'm pretty savvy. And then also I also bought Warcraft 3 Remastered. Is the other one I did. And it was that was another really massive painful disappointment. I think Warcraft 3 Remastered is the worst one I've ever done. Warcraft 3 Remastered, or Reforged, or whatever it was called. That was the worst one I've ever done in my entire life. That was absolutely miserable. I think it was okay. Yeah, that's the problem, and I could have told you that. Well, there's a couple big problems. The biggest problem with Starfield is ship combat, I think. I think ship combat is very bad. I think there's actually no point in having ship combat in that game. I think they just shouldn't have had it. I think they, I think ship combat just shouldn't have been done, or there shouldn't have been no ship combat. Sorry, I don't read Arabic, or Farsi or whatever, because there's a bunch of languages actually that the script corresponds to, but Urdu or something too. No way, AI, huh? That's crazy. But Starfield there's problems with Starfield, but it was still okay. It was okay. The thing is that I knew for a fact that there's also no magic in Starfield either, really. Like what there needed to be like psychic magic. You needed to like be able to like become a wizard. You know, there needed to be like a wizard character you could do or something. Yes. Oh, cool. Okay. That's good. Interesting. Okay, so we bone out. Homeward out. Yes, one second. It's a good game, actually. I think it's underrated. Give me 1 second. Control V. Oh, okay. Very well then, yes. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go do, yeah, I think it's bad. I think Starfield, there's a lot of problems with Starfield. Yeah, well there's a whole host of problems with Starfield. It's not just one problem. I think the biggest problem is ship combat. I think ship combat was really terrible. I think ship combat was like really, really, really terrible. Oh shoot, I forgot. I need to do one last thing. I thought ship combat was the worst freaking thing that they ever could have done. I thought ship combat was bad. Here's the problem with ship combat, right? Okay, imagine you're designing a game. Imagine you're designing a game. Okay, right? And like you're designing one game. It's hard enough to design one good game, right? It's hard enough to design one good game, let alone two. 2 games is impossible. 1 good game is fine. 2 good games is impossible, right? So ship combat is like a second game. It's like, first off, it's just the dumbest thing ever to think that would ever make sense to have ship combat in the game. Okay, the second problem with the game was there wasn't enough fun character variety. Okay, right? So you couldn't play as like a wizard. You know, it needed that little extra oomph. There needed to be psychic wizards or something. There needed to be like a necromancer class that like had like robots or something, right? You needed a little extra something. You needed like genetic mutations or like psychic magic or like, you know, more interesting stuff like that is what you kind of needed. But they didn't want to do that kind of thing. They kind of wanted to get away from that, which is fine. Right? Okay, third problem with Starfield. Enemy variety. There isn't enough enemies in the game. There's like, it's mostly humanoids. There's like humanoids and there's like a very tiny number of robots. And there's like a very small number of aliens, and it's fine. And the last problem with Starfield is, of course, the worlds. They're just not that interesting. The aliens just aren't that interesting. They're just like really boring. They're not good enemies. It's just very generic in that respect too. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of problems with Starfield. It's a giant mess, is what it is. I do love it. It's a fine game. Yeah, instead of aliens, yeah, humans who have different... Yeah, there's all kinds of things they could have done, but they just didn't do any of that. Because it's supposed to be, like, realistic space travel. You know, it's supposed to be like, you know, you're going to the moon or some crap. You know? Like, that's the idea. It's supposed to be, like, realistic, like, space travel. Like, you're going to the moon, you know, the transhuman stuff isn't there. There's no, like, aliens or whatever, right? And I get that. That's totally fine. Like, I respect that. Oh, shoot. I totally respect that, but they had to know that they were out of. It just wasn't there. Ow! Shoot! That was the issue, and then. This thing is not good for this. This is not at all a good weapon for this. This is like a really bad weapon for this. Yeah, this is really bad. I need the scythe back. Like, it's okay, but it's not good. I don't even know if I'm going to try this against Manus. Because this is not good. Come on. Even that's pretty generic. It's like fine, it's fine. Yeah, it needed a little bit more of a draw, unfortunately, but they wanted it to be kind of boring. They wanted it to feel like grounded, and so it ends up being kind of boring and feeling kind of like unfinished. Like there needed to be like intelligent aliens or just something. I don't know why there wouldn't be intelligent aliens. Also, the plot makes no sense. That's the other problem. The plot makes no sense. The plot. Okay, I gotta try that again. The plot makes literally no sense anyway. Why? Okay, who are the like? I don't know. I don't know if you want to. If you don't want me to spoil it for you. Okay, but like there's the aliens, right? The aliens are supposed to be you from the future. The plot makes no sense. It is a terrible plot. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible plot. I would have loved more than anything. Played it way back, or about a long time ago. Yeah. I think it's fine. I think it was. I don't regret buying it. It's not like Warcraft Reforged where I regret buying it. Warcraft Reforged I regret buying. I regret paying money for Warcraft Reforged. I don't regret paying money for Starfield. However, the plot makes no sense. It is the most miserably terrible plot I've ever seen. It's literally the plot is literally a time paradox. The plot is a full-blown time paradox. Okay, the idea being is that the bad guys come from the future. The bad guys are you from the future coming back to kill the people from the present. I don't understand how anyone could think that makes any sense. It is literally a plot that is just a time paradox. It makes absolutely no sense. It is completely terrible. You meet the bad guy like 5 minutes before the end of the game. And he's like not even really the bad guy. It's like really terrible. It's like it's absolutely abysmal. It's probably one of the worst plots I've ever had the misfortune of being subjected to in my entire life. I despise the plot of Starfield. They could have done any number of things right, and they did them all wrong. They could have fixed so much of the problems of the game by at least making the plot interesting. Like, are they extra dimensional intelligences that just come from the future or something? Like, okay, whatever, right? Like, I get that. Like that's the thing, is that those could have been the aliens. The bad guys could have been the aliens. Like the whole plot could have been, oh, we can't find intelligent life out in the universe. And there is intelligent life in the universe, and that's the bad guys, right? Or the good guy / bad guy, right? Like, I'd buy that. It's totally fine. But they just did it completely wrong, and it's just miserable. That's the most shockingly bad part about it, I think, about Starfield. Is like the way that they completely mismanaged the plot. Everything else about it kind of stinks, but that's the worst. I think. That is legitimately the worst thing about it, for sure. With maybe like... Except ship combat. Ship combat is worse. Actually, I take that back. Ship combat is worse. So there you go. Ship combat is definitely worse. For sure. I'm hitting so much harder with this thing. With the PGS. Oh, there goes that last shot. Okay. Oh, shoot. Hold up. Ow. Gosh. Camera's being such a pain. Okay. Oh shoot. Why am I that's so awkward. That was so awkward. What is he doing? There we go. There's something at least. No! Freaking lizard, man. Okay. Oh boy. Freaking lizard. Okay, one more. Boom. There goes Calamite. Okay, one more. Yeah, it's easy. Hopefully, well, I think Fallout 4 is fine. The plot sucks. The plot of Fallout 4 does suck, but I think at least Fallout 4 is a good game. Fallout 4 at least I think is a good game. Probably Sin. I'd say it's Sin. Sin is definitely harder, at least in my opinion. Not by like that much, but definitely harder, for sure. No, I think the story is bad. I think the story for Fallout 4 is really terrible. Personally, I understand that's subjective, obviously. Like I'm not, like, you know, it's like whatever. The story to me doesn't matter that much. It varies. I think when a story is good, I like it. But if a story is bad, I don't really care. Yeah, gameplay is good. Yeah, I agree with that. Gameplay is very good. I think that the gameplay for that game is real good. I thought that was really, really amazing, actually. Yeah, it's like really terrible. It like makes no sense at all. They had like a really cool concept of like fake humans and stuff, and they just like kind of botched it. But I mean, at least the progression system is really interesting. The RPG stuff is really cool though, so you know, whatever. Okay, you know, oh darn, a game's plot sucks. Okay, well, you know, there's life for you. Yeah, the factions are tragic. Preston Garvey sounds so bored the whole game. Like he sounds like he's like so bored. Yeah, that's the thing, is that nobody can die, and so it's like really dumb. Well, they didn't want to lock people out of endings and stuff, so they kind of like half-assed it, and it's just like whatever. There's actually only one interesting ending, and it's Institute. Yeah, he's like really terrible. He's so bad because he's not even a very good yes man. He sounds so bored. Like the voice actor who does Preston Garvey literally sounds like bored. he's like phoning it in the whole time. He's like probably the worst character. He's by far one of the worst characters in the game. I kind of respect it though. I kind of respect how bad he is, because he knows that the plot stinks like totally. So I kind of like respect it. I'm like, okay, this is kind of funny. He's like almost doing such a bad job that it's like funny. Yeah, that's the thing. It's almost over the top how bad he's doing. There's a settlement that needs to be taken care of. Go work your magic or whatever. He doesn't even have anything interesting to say. He like knows that he has no character at all. He's like completely one-dimensional. So he like kind of sounds like the yes man. There's like nothing, he says nothing interesting at all, which is funny because Skyrim at least has an okay plot. Honestly, I thought Skyrim had a perfectly fine plot. It wasn't the best plot ever or anything like that. Why did they see me? It wasn't like the best plot ever, but it was okay, you know? Like Skyrim was fine. I don't know why Fallout 4 stunk so bad in terms of plot. Here's why. Okay, I actually can explain to you why. because people hated Fallout 3. People freaking hated Fallout 3. People absolutely hated Fallout 3's plot. Fallout 3's plot was like so miserable. It's like the worst plot ever. It's like the sort of thing that's like well written, but is like so miserable. So it's a good plot, but it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And like I think in some cases you need that kind of stuff a little bit. But I think for Fallout 3 they got, oh shoot. Gee, I wonder if I'm dead. Okay, yeah, what a surprise. But I think for Fallout 3 they kind of overshot it, and it's like way too like hardcore. And there's like a lot of parts that are like, because here's the thing about Fallout 2. Fallout 1 and especially Fallout 2 are kind of comedies, right? Where am I going? This way. I think Nick Valentine is interesting. I think most of these characters are really bad, though. In fact, I hated all the followers. That was the thing, is that if I had liked a single follower, I would have thought it was funny, but I actually kind of hated all of them. I thought the followers were, like, really bad in Fallout 4. It's not the same as, like, Fallout New Vegas or something, where some of the followers are kind of okay. But to be fair, I didn't really like the followers in Fallout New Vegas that much either. Except for, like, Arcade Gannon. Arcade Gannon's kind of cool. And, What's-Her-Face is okay, too. Veronica. I think the problem is most of the followers in Fallout New Vegas actually aren't that good. It just so happens that Veronica and Arcade Gannon are really good. And so, like, those kind of, like, outweigh, like, all the kind of crappier followers. Or, yeah, like, I guess Boone. You have Boone, too, right? So, like, he's a pretty cool follower. It's hard to hate Boone. Like, his story is pretty tough, but, like, who cares? Like, he's at least interesting. Ow. Come on. Jeez, finally. Yeah, I think his story is interesting. I think the second half of his story sucks, but the first half where you meet him is kind of interesting. Like, dealing with his wife or whatever. The whole, like, oh, my wife got abducted thing, that was okay. Yeah, the second half of his character kind of stinks, though. I think the part where he's like regrets killing the Great Khans or whatever is not as interesting. But that's the second half of Fallout New Vegas. I think Fallout New Vegas starts really strong, and then the plot kind of falls apart in the second half. And like all the quests on the eastern half of the map like stink. Like Camp Forlorn Hope, I think is not a very interesting quest. All the stuff near Caesar's Legion is like not interesting. Well, DS1 I think at least carries itself throughout the whole thing. But I mean, he's an interesting character. He's interesting enough that it's like okay. I think Boone is at least fine. He's like a fine character. Not the end-all and be-all, but like totally fine. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, duh. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Because when I think of the second half, I think of the DLC. So sorry, you got me confused there. Yeah, Duke's Archive is okay. I think it's the level design is very like yeah, it's a cool area for sure. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I like when you said the second half of DS1, I immediately thought of DLC, which is like very different from Lost Izalith. Like Lost Izalith does stink, very much. Like Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith do stink, and so does and Tomb of the Giants is okay. I think Tomb of the Giants is okay. It's fine. I think Catacombs is more the issue because it's like I think Catacombs. I think originally when they were designing the game, they wanted Catacombs to come earlier, but they couldn't. They wanted Catacombs to come earlier, but they couldn't fit it in, and they didn't. They ran out of time or something. Yeah, I think Tomb of the Giants is okay. It's at least interesting. It definitely seems very cheap. It definitely, you can tell for sure, actually, I guess, that it was made super cheap because it's just dark. It's just like a cave, but dark, right? So, like, they didn't have a whole bunch of extra budget for art assets and stuff, and so they did Tomb of the Giants. But the balance of the catacombs feels very wonky. It feels like an area that they wanted you to go to earlier, especially with Pinwheel at the end. Like an area they wanted you to go to earlier, but then they couldn't fit it into the game or something. And that's like the main issue with it, I think. Oh, we're gonna try PGS here. I want to try PGS here. Where is it? Okay, we take off this. Yeah, that would have been interesting too. They could have done a lot of interesting stuff with Catacombs, but I think they just ran out of time. Because like I said, I think it's the sort of thing where you could have gone to it earlier or something, and then that makes sense too because you can see the Great Hollow, so you could have gone to like Tomb of the Giants early and then killed Nito and then gone to Great Hollow or something. Yeah, and Lost Izalith too. There's definitely something different they could have done that maybe would have been more interesting than what they did. Absolutely. So I think Catacombs is probably my least favorite part. I actually like Lost Izalith just because it's so stupid. Like I kind of respect how dumb Lost Izalith is, and how like weird and dumb Lost Izalith is. So I know that it stinks, but I kind of love how much I hate it. Or how much everyone else hates it, you know? Like, that's the thing about Lost Izalith for me. Yeah, so the second half of New Vegas is like is so bad. I think I think the game is really, really strong up until you meet Mr. House. And then everything after meeting Mr. House is like bad. Or is like less good. And it gets worse as you keep going. And so like side quests in corners of the map are like not only super buggy, but they're also really terrible and unfun. I think after you meet Mr. House, it starts going downhill. That's totally fair. I like Lost Izalith because of how stinky it is and weird. My favorite boss in this game is I hate to burst your bubble, but my favorite boss in this game is Bed of Chaos. Bed of Chaos is my favorite boss in this game, except maybe Manus. I think Manus is also really cool too. Oh come on, we gotta try that again. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's one of the better bad like quests. That's one of the better second half quests. I think as far as second half quests go, that one's okay. That one's decent. But it's another great example of how, like, yeah, well, going up there is the interesting part. Because you get to see trees and stuff. So honestly, that's the nicest part about that quest, is you get to go up to that part of the map. Every other part of going up to that part of the map kind of stinks. Because there's just nothing else up there. That's like it. It's like that and the Remnants bunker, and that's like it. That's like the only thing to do in that part of the quest. I think Arizona Killer, I think it's an interesting concept, but I've never really had fun doing it. You know, because like depending on your build, it's like really hard to do. You know, like you have to just like walk up and like cut him in half with a melee weapon, right? Like you're doing Caesar's Legion, you're playing as like a melee character or something dumb like that, right? And so, like, the only option you have is to kill him, right? Like, that's gonna be, you're not gonna side with Caesar your first time, probably, right? Like, maybe somebody does. I think maybe I did, right? But if you're siding with Caesar, you're probably doing, like, a wonky character anyway, who's, like, stupid or something, right? And so you don't have very many good options. You have, like, there's a good chance you're gonna be a 3 intelligence character with, like, melee weapons or something. Yeah. No, I like Caesar too. I'm a Caesar guy myself too. I happen to like him as a faction character because he's just so weird. He's just really distinctive in that game. Color red and all that. Like I respect it. You know. Oh shoot. Come on, come on. Yeah, well, the Legion is interesting because I kind of like the subtext that Caesar doesn't even like his own soldiers. They're like, the reason the Legion does things the way it does is because Caesar hates his own people, hates his own troops. Like, I think that's kind of the funny thing about it, and like why I like Caesar so much is because you kind of get the impression that he actually has like disdain for his own soldiers. He doesn't even really like them, and so I kind of like that aspect to it. I think that's fun. Like he's like having soldiers throw javelins. It's like, why is he having people throw javelins? Like, the Legion has javelins? Like, who the heck is throwing a javelin? That makes no sense at all. And the plot with the Legion doesn't really make any sense. I get the idea. I think the idea is that there's like less guns where the Legion comes from, right? So the NCR is in California, and so they have like tons and tons of guns and fancy guns and stuff from the war, or from before the war, right? And so like maybe the Legion doesn't have as many like cool weapons or whatever, right? Because like the area they're from is like less military bases or whatever. But the whole like thing about them being in melee and them using like fire axes and stuff is still so dumb. Like, that's still so like hilariously stupid. like comedically dumb. But and then talking to him is really awesome too. Talking to Caesar really rules too. He's not as likable as House, but you definitely get the and the thing is, the NCR is really boring too. There's like no good characters in the NCR. There's no really like there's no characters with like an insane cult of personality. Yeah, well they're tribals or whatever the game calls them. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like whatever. But in spite of that, well, there's Colonel Shu's pretty okay. And then there's Chief Hamlin. But obviously he's kind of like complicated. Oh shoot. I just missed an attack. Yeah, this dumb thing is causing me to miss. This dumb weapon is causing me to miss. It's not unusually bad or anything like that. Come on! Did the attack right as I start drinking. Come on, come on. Shoot. You need to be right under him for that. Oh, come on. I got dark beated right there at the end. That's so dumb. I'm gonna end stream anyway. I need to end stream anyway. I need to go make dinner and stuff. But thanks for watching, everybody. It's been fun. We'll kill him next time. We'll kill our boy next time. Yeah, I know. That the stupid dark bead. I know. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Yes, great talking to you. I always love talking about video games. It's always a ton of fun. Have a good night, everyone. 1 second, I gotta end the stream. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Yeah, have a good night, everybody.